Welcome back to another episode of the Gauntlet with Jay Crypto and Timmy.
Meow! Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to another Saturday, a very special Saturday today. Today is episode 10 of the Gauntlet. 10 episodes. So that means we've been
Unbelievable.
doing this for about 11 weeks now. It feels like a lot longer somehow, but it's been a lot of fun. Really happy to be on episode 10. Can you imagine, Jay Crypto, episode 50, episode 100? How's that going to feel?
Dude,
It's going to be nuts.
it's gonna feel like we just started this yesterday, just like it does now. Um, I don't know, man. The episodes will keep coming. We're not going away, so it's to be expected that we're gonna get to those numbers.
Yep. Yeah, I guess 100 episodes will take about like maybe 2 years, but I'm excited to get
Mhm.
there. Excited to keep
The annual
making these videos.
University of the Gauntlet. Yeah, man, we'll have to do
Yeah,
something cool. We'll have to do something really cool. Maybe one day we'll even have a Gauntlet booth at a CNFT con or something. Who knows? The sky's the limit, but we're taking it very practically in strides and trying to improve the show. In fact, Timmy, let me get into the roadmap because today's show is a little bit different. We do have 2 sponsored reviews, but what's cool about this show is we're also adding in more news items. So today we have a story on a rumor going around with Charles Hoskinson and Elon Musk that I'm gonna kind of break down and squash. I think it's a little bit nonsensical, but it's taken a huge amount of the attention on crypto Twitter. There's also but before we get there, we're also going to be talking about Pavia's latest podcast and development updates because it's a big deal. And I've had some people reach out that aren't quite into Pavia or weren't quite into Pavia, like skeptical. And they're like, hey, yo, Jay Crypto, I just saw the development update. This is kind of really cool to see them put out all the things that they're working on and doing. I've now kind of come over and become a little bit bullish, and I've bought in a plot or bought in a couple plots. So that was a very interesting thing. So just to kind of talk about that at the beginning here, then we obviously have Dognuts. Okay, I'm not joking when I say that. The project is called Dognuts. They are sponsoring today's show. So thanks to Dognuts. And we're going to be talking about what those are. It's a really fun, cool project. After that, we have maybe some time. It really depends on how everything goes to get into the Wanchain story, which is all about interoperability for Cardano. It's all about scaling for Cardano, a bi-directional bridge. We're going to be talking a little bit about what bridges are, what they mean for Cardano. That's a news item, so it's not a sponsored segment. It's just something to keep you guys updated. Then we have Seal Society coming on. And then at some point, we hope to get into the Cardano roadmap updates. A little bit technical there, but I think it's going to be informative. So it's good to have a diverse view of the space. I think for our audience, what we want, me and Timmy are unique in that because there's a lot of YouTubers who just cover CNFTs. There's a lot of YouTubers who just cover Cardano. So we try to really be well-rounded players in the space, and we're trying to bring a well-rounded of information to our audience here. And we're going to try to bring more value every single week on the Gauntlet. Does that sound about fair, Timmy?
Yeah, that sounds really good, Jay Crypto. Thanks for walking us through the plan for today. I think today's going to be another mix. Hey, G Heaven, good to see you. Good to see you, Patrick. Hello, hello. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, or Saturday evening for anyone in Europe. Speaking of people in Europe, there's actually a pretty interesting event a few hours ago. The Cardano Proxies project. This is a project that we had on the Gauntlet a couple of weeks ago, and then I interviewed the founder. They actually minted. They minted a few hours ago. So they did a European time zone mint. Hey, Metal Gear, good to see you, Angapu. And so they minted overnight for everyone that was in North America. And I thought this was kind of interesting. You always normally see people, even European projects, set their minting time to North American afternoon or North American evening. But they did it European time zone when North America was asleep. And it was kind of really, really smooth. We were minting and we were getting our proxies back within 5 or 6 seconds. The Cardano blockchain was in a beautiful state last night. And so the Cardano proxies had a pretty successful mint. I was up with the team from 2 a.m. until 5 a.m. just minting, and we kept reminting and buying stuff off of the marketplace. So check it out. It's Cardano proxies. They had a big event last night, and there's still some left to mint. So if you haven't minted any, you can still mint some. They're 100 ADA. And the trick right now, I think, is to there's 5 types of proxies, and if you get one of each, you're actually going to get airdropped a free wisdom proxy. And actually, Jay, in the next couple hours, they're going to do a big reveal, and they'll be revealing the wisdom bless you proxies to everybody on the team. And so everybody in the world, we haven't actually seen the wisdom proxy yet, but we're going to get to see it in just a few hours. So check out the Cardano proxies Discord if you're interested in that project as well.
Any other events this week, Timmy, that you've done, or is that the main one?
So Cardano proxies was a big one. Here he goes. Oh, that was a good one. And then also the cabins. So the Ape Society, had their very, very big cabin mint on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. Big shout out to them. They helped Jay Crypto and I out with some whitelist spots last week. So I minted some cabins. I was able to mint 5. I didn't get a chateau. That's the big one you want. But I actually just purchased a chateau off a marketplace. I just went in there and FOMO'd in. And so I have a chateau and a couple estates and 3 cottages. So I'm not too bad, but not like some of these other whales. So I wish I had more.
I hear you, man. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on. I do want to get into Pavia real quick, so I'm going to share my screen and just give a broad overview because, like I said, they've had a lot of cool updates here, and I feel like it's a good point in time, since we don't talk about Pavia too much on the Gauntlet, to kind of just celebrate where they're at. Now, before I do, Timmy, you pointed out that ADA is definitely sinking in price right now. I don't know what to make out of these markets, to be honest with you. It's a pretty interesting time. I always like to see ADA go lower because I'm a buyer.
Yeah.
So that's like a good thing for me, since like I don't know what's going to happen with Bitcoin and with the broader crypto markets. It could be some time before we see all-time highs again, but you just never know. I mean, anybody that tells you that they do know is simply they just don't. You don't know. So it's going to be interesting to see how the markets react. But let's get into this Pavia update because they just released another podcast. Is that coming through nicely, Timmy?
Yeah, we can see it. Great. Yep.
What I did want to start with, though, is that though they announced a lot of updates, this is simply the tip of the iceberg for Pavia. And Morgan, the CEO, tweeted this as like a symbolic thing, saying there could be a lot more. I also posted I'm about to post tonight a video going deeper in this. I'm just going to briefly go over each thing that they've kind of hinted at. But if you want to see that full video, feel free to be looking out for it on my channel later on. And it's not the only metaverse that I really want to dig into. I mean, Timmy, you know that Rob comes on to these gauntlets sometimes. I actually am planning to do a deep dive into Cornucopias and just highlight everything that they've done recently. But today, this was a big deal, so let's just get into it. You can go to the end of the video on the Pavia Corp YouTube to check out the actual list of updates that they've mentioned. I won't go over each one simultaneously right here, but I just want to let people know, if you just want to get all the updates all at once, you can go to the end of the video that they posted and you can see all of them. However, I do recommend listening to the entire Pavia Ross video. It was very nicely done. A quick update that was interesting is they talk about their integration with Ready Player Me. Now, this is old news, but what I wanted to highlight here is that Ready Player Me is integrated with 2,000 blockchain and gaming applications. So that means that the avatars are also interoperable. We can see a merch collection that we don't know much about. Now, they've tweeted about it before and even has said that it's not what you think. So I think they're indicating that there's something here about Pavia Explorers that might become a status that you get or obtain if you're a Pavia Explorer in Pavia. I don't really know. Now,
there you go.
Human avatars aren't the only ones, Timmy. So let me just get through this, because there's another avatar too that they've mentioned in this video, and that is a non-humanoid avatar. Who does this look like? This looks like some kind of schlub. Is this some geek or something? But
that looks like the cutest avatar I've ever seen. Look at 3D Timmy there in all of his glory. big shout out to the Pavia team. They did this for me, I think in February. Total surprise, totally not expecting it. They modeled and animated a 3D Timmy just to prove what they can do in their engine. It doesn't have to be humanoid. They can have feline, they can have canine, all kinds of different avatars.
Mm-hmm. So I did want to give you a shout out too, Tibi. And
Yeah.
obviously, in my video, I talk about this too. You've kind of updated this concept as well in your 3D Timmy. Your 3D Timmy, I think, looks a little more sleek, but I'd still. This is really a symbolic thing, I think, for Pavia, that you're going to be able to be a humanoid. You're also going to be able to be other types of avatars. Really interesting stuff. Just want to highlight this because somebody who's become a good friend of mine, Frog Dog, actually is a 3D
Nice.
rendering artist. So he does Blender, he makes 3D assets, and they've created a Discord with a tremendous amount of diversity of verified 3D modelers. So these are people from all over the world that are working and collaborating and sharing ideas in this Discord. It's also a place for people that own land that want to hire somebody to go look who are the verified creators. They also released a little bit of a demo of their 3D builder. So definitely worth going to check out. Timmy, what did you think about this early stage 3D builder that they released? Because you probably saw this podcast too.
Yeah, I watched it. As you know, like I'm a heavy holder of Pavia. I haven't sold any of my Pavia plots. I was really happy to see a dev update. You know, they've had team updates before, but this was the first ever dev team update, an update all about the development. And if they can keep this up, I'm super excited. In terms of the builder, this is exactly what we need. When you want to use something like Maya or Blender, it's quite complicated. The interface is built for professionals and for complexity. But this is beautiful here. It's a simple drag and drop, very simple UI, simple navigation. The camera is already positioned as at this cool like isometric 45-degree angle. It's just if I'm going to build something quickly and easily, this is what I want. I'm a big fan of the builder. It's going to let everybody build 3D assets and look at them very easily.
Yeah, I'm also excited. And I'm also excited that they released some more of the common areas, things that they're trying to implement in places that everyone goes in. So whether it's roads that people are walking or driving on, or
Yeah.
whether it's more of a beach, maybe closer proximity to the water area.
Let's pause here like for a quick second though. I wasn't sure if you're about to move away, but I saw this and I just love this. Like the little benches on the side. Of course, all the houses look the same, but if you can imagine the houses looking a little bit different, this just feels really welcoming. It reminds me when I was younger, I took a trip down to Florida and there was kind of like a seniors community there and they all had like trailers. And I got this feeling here, like this wonderful like community vibe. Imagine just being neighbors and looking out your window, Jay, and I can kind of see you through the window there. I just
Mhm.
love this shot. This is what I want out of a metaverse.
Dude, I also love this because it's showing us that they're thinking about these community areas. And what does that mean? Well, to me, that means mountains and forests. Though they haven't announced anything yet, I'm really excited to see what they decide to do in some of the outskirts of the maps, whether it's waterfront parcels or beachfront parcels or those mountain areas and forest areas. I really hope that those are playable, maybe places that we can catch pods or have some kind of gaming experience as well, and not just the boundaries at which we can walk to. And I think that that's really where they're positioning themselves. So I'm excited for more. But obviously, really cool to see that they put a little bit of a map at the top when you're walking around. You
Mini
can
map.
see, yeah, you not only can see where you're at, but you can also see where you're going with a waypointer and a compass. So that was a cool little update and feature. And then last but not least, something that's kind of a signal, in my opinion, to maybe be a holder of Pavia, not financial advice, but definitely one thing that I think will come out of May is more information on POVs. Now, POVs are little creatures that you can't buy, but you can catch in the Pavia metaverse. I would hope to see that they create a leveling system for POVs. Maybe they can evolve. Maybe you can battle other POV
Whoa.
trainers. That's what I hope to see. And what I also wanted to mention is they talk about creating a website just for POVs. So I would imagine that there's going to be some tools and things on that website that maybe you can customize POVs, maybe you can just check different POV stats or have different actions. But the sky is the limit for these guys and what they want to do with POVs. It is coming up though. So that's pretty much it. Again, I'm going to post a deep dive into these updates and put a little bit more of my own spin on some of the thoughts, so you guys can check that out later tonight. Timmy, are we good to go into the Elon and Charles thing real quick before we get into Dognuts?
I think in a minute, but I just want to give a huge shout out to the Secret Seal Society. The Seal fam has showed up. We've got a ton of people in the chat here, and it looks like they're all from the Seal Society projects. Let's Get It Seals. There's a bunch of
The
others
Seals
here.
show up. Wow.
Yeah, the
Look
Seals
at
show
this.
up. And this is actually a really good sign that their community is engaged. Their community is excited, not just for our coverage, but also for the project itself. I'm just really excited. Here's another one. Vanessa, good to see you here. Seal fam, let's go. There's a bunch of them earlier. So big thanks to the Seal squad showing up. Yeah, at 3 p.m. Eastern, so about 40 minutes from now, we're going to have the Seal Society team on stream. I think there'll be a few of them. They're going to join us. We're going to have fun. We're going to do an interview and just kind of chat about the project. So that's coming up in 40 minutes for everyone there that's from the Seal Society. Thanks for showing up.
Huge shout out to the Seals. Excited to dig into their project. A lot of interesting things coming out of that community right here in the chat today, Timmy.
Very cool. Okay, so walk us through this Elon Musk story now, and then maybe we can do Crypto Dognuts, do you think?
Perfect. Let's do it. So let me go over then to this kind of, we got a few stories here lined up. Okay, so is Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson meeting with Elon Musk to make Twitter decentralized? Now, I've been following this, and it's funny because I was kind of blown away that this got as much traction as it did. Simply put, somebody made a tweet saying, wait, Twitter got a new CEO, meaning Elon. IOHK Charles landed in California. Counting 1 + 1 = 2 = Elon Musk. And then who responded? Well, none other than the king himself, Charles Hoskinson. He is obviously doing a little Elon troll himself, saying can't confirm or deny. But they didn't post the other tweet that he said. So I just wanted to say that, like, guys, he also posted, Charles Hoskinson, you may have seen this, right after posting this, he said, you guys know I'm just effing with you, right? So he's saying, like, he's just kidding about, not confirming or denying. But I have seen this blow up on a few different blogs saying, oh, Charles and Elon are now doing business. The bigger point that I wanted to make here is that it's actually believable because of some of the values that Elon has stated he has for blockchain and similar values that Charles Hoskinson has. I do think Elon is behind decentralization. He is behind environmentally friendly technology. And I do think he is behind giving more access to people of different nations and things of that, just based on his history. Similar values to Charles Hoskinson. I do think that Tesla, Elon collabing with Cardano would make a lot of sense. It just depends on when and why. But it's not today, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it's just not verified. We can't say that Elon is talking to Charles yet. So I just wanted to touch on that real briefly, Timmy.
Well, one thing that comes to my mind is, like, it's probably unlikely that Charles is going to be CEO of Twitter. I hope he wouldn't. Like, I don't want him spending time on that. We need his help here on Cardano. That said, Twitter has a board, and we know that Elon Musk and even I think Jack Dorsey have said they're not fans of the current Twitter board. And so it's one thing that comes to mind is Elon Musk might be thinking about who is going to be on the new Twitter board, right? This is a group of advisors that will help steer Twitter. And I mean, this is purely speculation, but if I was Elon Musk, I would reach out to some of the smartest people that champion free speech, decentralization, and are against deplatforming. And so I could see maybe Elon Musk maybe reaching out to someone like Charles to be on the board. Right. And so that's a nice position that wouldn't be too much of a commitment for Charles. And so that's something I would love to see happen. Not CEO, though. That would be bad.
No, I think in the tweet, they were just saying that the new CEO was actually Elon and that Charles was meeting with Elon. But the other thing is, like, Charles has done this before. Like, he's tweeted at Elon before, because when the Twitter acquisition was first kind of starting, or even before it was mentioned, and Elon had 10% of Twitter shares, Charles tweeted out at Elon and said, hey, if you need any help building a decentralized social media app, let us know. So I
And
don't know if you saw that, Timmy, but that was also a little bit of fun. I mean, I think that these guys have such a huge presence in the Web3 and tech space that it's fun to see them kind of play around and troll a little bit, especially our guy Charles. I mean, his
yeah.
Twitter game has been on just a hockey stick up curve, in my opinion. It's just been getting better and better. Whether it's tweets about who Uncle Sam is with Snoop Dogg, Charles Hoskinson is elevating his Twitter game left and right.
I agree. Yeah, Charles is he's super active. He's been doing a lot of Twitter Spaces. Actually, I was in a Twitter Space with him, with a couple people. I think one lady named Bads. She hosted a Twitter Space on 420 on April 20th. That was a pretty good Twitter Space. I think Charles has said he's talked to Elon Musk before, but they definitely have mutuals. They have shared acquaintances. Lex Friedman is a perfect example of that. And so, I think if I think there are ways for them to communicate to each other. So who knows?
I think I've also seen that some white papers have been peer reviewed with some of the people at Tesla and SpaceX.
Oh
So
wow.
like there's definitely a lot of cross sharing of information. I mean, these guys, IOHK, and then obviously the various companies that Elon is part of have such amazing talent and some of the world's finest in terms of scientists and academics that it just makes sense that they definitely have some cohesion and exchanging information and ways of doing things. So all in all, fun little story to start out for Saturday, but definitely something worth mentioning. It's not verified. I don't want people to see that blog and get all excited and think, oh, next thing you know, you're going to get a Cardano Tesla car or something. So
yeah. Okay, very cool. Well, thanks for sharing that with us, Jay Crypto. Should we maybe jump into our first project today and maybe kind of share a little bit about Crypto Dognuts? I think I'll do that now. Let me just share my screen here so we can look at some of their website and look at some of their materials here. Here we go. So this is the Crypto Dognuts project. This is their website. Their website is just cryptodognuts.com. And how fun is this? One of the things I look for in a website is that the website theme and aesthetic style matches that of the project and the NFTs. And clearly the NFTs for this project are super fun, super colorful, and so is the website. And I absolutely love that. I covered this website a few months ago when they released their first collection. And now they're releasing their second collection. It actually releases in just a few days, May 3rd at 4 p.m. UTC. So that'll be early in the morning for anyone in North America. They're releasing their second collection. It's only 250 dog nuts. How like elite is that, right? This isn't a 10K collection or an 8K collection. This is a 250 collection. Each of the art pieces are handmade, and the price is 42 ADA. But get this, whitelist spots get a 5 ADA discount. So we're talking 37 ADA. And let me tell you, ADA is on sale today, right? I think it's like a 78 cents, 88 cents, right? So 4/5. So 4/5 of 42 ADA. I mean, you're looking at $35, maybe $30 USD for one of these. Very, very cheap, especially for something that's totally hand drawn. And yeah, this is a great point from RJ Beats here. I love the exclusivity. And he wants one of these donuts. They are super exclusive. Good to see you here, Chenzi. So one thing I want to talk about is the exact timing. They've got a countdown on here. It's going to be in just under 3 days. Okay, so it's Saturday right now, so it looks like this will be probably, I guess, May 3rd, Tuesday night, if you're in Europe in UTC time zone. And so of the 250, 25 of them, 10%, are super, super rare. And I'll tell you a little bit why they're super, super rare and what makes them special. I see you chuckling there, Jay Crypto. Do you see anything you recognize, or what are you laughing at?
yeah, man, I'm seeing some nuts. I'm seeing some little nuts on these things, but I'm also seeing some anime references too. I see Chopper from One Piece and maybe
Yep.
the dragon from Dragon Ball Z and a few of the masks that we've seen on various animes too. So it's definitely interesting to
Yeah.
see some of those references here.
It's so cool. We'll take a look at some of the traits in detail in a minute. And I'm going to need your help, Jay Crypto. And I'll need the help of the chat to identify some of the traits. But what I want to point out is their season 1 sold out. It sold out quite quickly, like their first collection. And so, they have a really solid community. I'm part of that community. I'm a huge fan. And so I think, these 250 could totally sell out as well, I hope. Not financial advice, but I mean, 250 is a pretty small number. So what I want to do right now is actually show you some of their art and then talk about their minting games. This is something I haven't really seen before, Crypto. It's really, really cool. But let's take a look at some of the new anime collection here. So these are some of their traits. Do you recognize any of these, Crypto?
Yeah, I do. On the right-hand side, I feel like I'm being interrogated. On the right-hand side, that is definitely a power level reader from early Dragon Ball Z, when you needed a power level reader because not everyone was Super Saiyan and too strong to like break those things.
Oh wow, I love Dragon Ball Z. That's with like Vegeta. I used to be a big Vegeta fan. That's pretty cool. I don't remember the reader. I watched that one a long time ago. But yeah,
Yep.
very, very cool. Here's some
Planet
more
Namek
traits.
arc. That's Chopper from One Piece.
Which
That's
one?
a
Which
Dragon
one's
Ball Z
Chopper?
hat. The middle one. So that's like a reindeer creature that ate a fruit that gave him some cool powers in the anime series One Piece. And then you also have the it looks like Gohan's hat because it's the 4-star Dragon Ball, which is actually Goku's grandfather's Dragon Ball that he passed down to Goku, and Goku passed it down to Gohan, which is his son.
Oh,
and
his
his
son.
grandfather's name too. His son was named after his grandfather. But basically,
wow.
yeah, man, that is definitely a deep reference to Goku rocking that hat in the early episodes with Raditz and Piccolo before they even went to Planet Namek and discovered Gohan's true capabilities.
Piccolo is my favorite. I remember Gohan too. Gohan was massive power, right? He got to like power level 1,000,000 or something. But I remember Piccolo was pretty awesome too.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And
I remember Piccolo being a bad guy, but then also later a good guy and an ally. Like there was an interesting dynamic there, I remember.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've actually seen Dragon Ball too, and this is definitely early stage Dragon Ball Z Gohan hat, but the Dragon Ball itself could be seen in Dragon Ball as well, because this was again the 4-star Dragon Ball that was handed down to
All right.
Goku.
What about these three, Sensei? Crypto Master. Anything here that you recognize?
This is like, I don't know about the left-hand side, but or the middle, but the Ramen's classic anime.
Yeah.
I don't see any deep-seated references. This is more anime culture, all three of them.
Right.
But maybe I'm just missing something.
I watched like the last anime I watched was Attack on Titan. I love that one, but it's been a while since I watched other ones. I used to watch Rurouni Kenshin, which is like American Ninja. That was like 20 years ago. I'm kind of dating myself a little bit, but yeah, I haven't been on it lately. This is Hello Kitty. I know that one. Meow. But check this out. Kami Coin. Is Kami in the house? Check out Kami House right here. We're big fans of Kami Coin. And
yeah, this is the Turtle Hermit.
From what?
That's the Turtle Hermit. That's Master Roshi's house on the island of Dragon Ball Z too. So a lot of Dragon Ball stuff going on.
Oh yeah, Nick the Fritz. Yeah, he was talking about the Power Reader being Dragon Ball, but then yeah, Dragon Ball Z for the hat. Good. Yeah, Nick
so
knows
the Power
what he's talking about.
The Power Reader is from Dragon Ball Z though too, because it's when they went to the planet that Piccolo's species from. And all of Frieza's minions have these power level readers, and even Raditz. So I would correct him on that. I'd say it's actually from Dragon Ball Z. Those power level readers.
Nick, do you have a microphone? Sorry, I mean, should we get Nick on the show here and do a bit of a battle?
Look it up. Look up Dragon Ball Z. When they go to the Planet Namek saga, you'll see those things on Planet Namek.
Okay, so those are the traits. And check this out. These are some of the assembled Crypto Dognuts that are being released. So this one's like super, super cool. One thing is you want to pay attention to the traits. You want to pay attention to everything that's in here, because depending on what the traits are, you might get some special bonuses related to the minting games that they're having. Here's another one. What are you're laughing at the dog?
No, I'm just laughing at no, there's just some controversy. People don't believe me in the chat on some things. People are supporting me in the chat. It's funny. You guys go look it up, make your own decisions. This is definitely not anime advice, right? Go do
Yeah.
your own research.
Yep. Not anime advice. Yep.
I know
What's
my
this
stuff.
one with the hat? You do know your stuff. I've seen a few with these robot hats. Is that Akira or like where are these ones coming from? I'm not sure
I'm
if you
not sure
know.
about that one, Timmy. I'm not sure.
Okay. They look pretty cool. That's the one I'm gonna try and get. Looks like it's got some kind of armor on it. On it. Here's another one, right?
It looks like a transformer. Might be a
Super
transformer.
cool.
I don't know though. There's a lot of robot animes actually. Now that I think about it, so I don't know if it's a reference or maybe it's just a transformer reference. I don't know.
Anyone in the chat? Can anyone in the chat help us out? Like, is this clearly this hat? Yeah, Roki loves it. I love this one too. I don't know if it's Akira or Voltron.
Voltron.
Voltron,
That
that's
could make
right.
sense.
Yeah. There you go. Love all the knowledge that the chat is helping us drop. This is one I just saw for the first time because this hasn't been released on Twitter as much. I haven't seen this one a lot. But yeah, do you recognize this at all?
This is maybe, I mean, the only thing that's screwing me up here is obviously the antlers. But I don't know. I think that's a Dragon Ball Z reference as well. Maybe just the dragon from the green dragon. Whenever you summon from gathering all the Dragon Balls, you get this big green dragon. So maybe it's that.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of these things have crossovers. I mean,
Yeah. Some more Voltron there. So this is another example where you can see the traits. So they've got some of the ramen soup, and then they've got this Wanted magazine down here. And the reason I'm mentioning these traits is
that's
had
from
minting.
One Piece, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, from One
The
Piece?
Wanted. Yeah, because
Oh,
it's
is it?
about
Okay.
pirates and there's wanted criminals and Yeah.
There you go. There's a bunch of stuff here. Is that like some kind of a telescope or binocular? Hello Kitty on the side, right? A macaroon in the hand. And is this Pokemon container here, or is that one of
I don't think so, Timmy. I think you're stretching that one. I think that's just meant to be a normal bell from a dog or whatever.
Well, it could be. It could be one of the golden balls. Well, they actually have 7 Dragon Balls, and if you mint one with a Dragon Ball, you have a chance to win like a special reward. Basically, this project has minting games, and so in their first collection, the way it worked is you could potentially mint some that have a golden ticket, and if you get one with a golden ticket, you can redeem it for an extra dog nut, a golden dog nut. And so there's other ones. There was a naked series. Check this out. You might like this, J Crypto. Some of them had a Play Dog magazine under their arm. And so if you have if you pair a horny dog nut with a Play Dog magazine, you get a naked dog nut for free. How cool is that? So it's I love the symbols here, 18 and up. You like these, right? Monocolor series. If you get a dog nut that's all one color. Breakfast donuts. This was cool, Jay. To get one of the breakfast donuts, you needed to mint 4 dog nuts that have an egg on their head. So this is from the first collection. All kinds of like special traits, and if you get one of these, you're gonna have like some special bonus. But in the new collection that's minting on May 3rd, you're looking for golden, or you're looking for the Dragon Balls. There's 7 that have Dragon Balls. And if you have that, there'll be a reward. And there's also, I think it was on this list down here. Where did it go? There's also golden tickets. So just like last time, they had golden tickets. There'll be 2 in this upcoming collection. And last time, the golden ticket gave you a free golden dog nut. So that's kind of cool. I like this, just kind of randomly minting, but you might get a special trait, and it's very clear the benefit of it. What do you think of this, Jay?
Yeah, you got to gamify your NFT project. You got to add some collectability, like incentives. So I think that going that little extra step of giving some reasons to be a collector and not necessarily an investor, but a collector, it's important. I don't think enough projects probably do it that probably should, because the market is competitive. And in a project like this, what I'm noticing is, yeah, the chat's hopping. We're all talking about it now, right? We're all talking about animes that we love. We're all talking about little aspects of these things that are funny. People are saying things to you and me. They're saying things about you, about what you like about it, Tivi, and it's hilarious. But what it's really done is created a little bit of a community aspect where now we're talking about memories and different traits all together. And that's what I think the power of this kind of NFT project brings, is like, yeah, it's supposed to be funny. Yeah, it's supposed to build a little bit of camaraderie, right? And it's just interesting to see them gamify that experience. I do think that's a smart move from the team.
Yeah, I agree. It's so cool. I can see all you kind of anime buffs chatting about anime in the chat right now, and how cool is that? And this project, basically, they're going to release multiple collections, and they had the community vote for what the collection should be to decide. Okay, are we going to do an anime collection, or are we going to do like a gaming related collection, or like a different theme? And so the way they landed on an anime collection was actually a vote that they did in their Discord. And they're going to have more collections coming up. All of these collections are considered season 1. So in 2022, all of the collections are season 1. But what's really cool is in 2023, and this might be alpha. I was talking to Vero, the founder, this morning, and she told me in season 2 Dognuts, there's going to be clearly male and female Dognuts, and you're going to be able to have babies. So the idea is there's going to be baby puppy Dognuts coming out next year in 2023. So that's part of their roadmap. Now, a big reason why I love this project is their mission. And so they're trying to raise funds for animal rescue centers. Okay, they talked about 500 million dogs in the world don't have a home. Well, there's 500 million dogs total. 70% don't have a home, which is pretty sad. And, I've done a lot of traveling in my life. And in Indonesia, there's dogs everywhere, like just on the street. They don't have a home. It's really, really sad. You can see their ribs. You can see their bones. They're clearly malnourished. And so I just love the idea that she's helping animal centers. They're donating 8% of each collection to rescue centers. Now, not 8% of royalties, 8% of the total price, which is huge. Some projects just do it off of the secondary market royalties, but actually the mint price, the mint funds are usually where a lot of the money is made, sometimes 6 digits. And so she's taking money right off the top before she pays herself and giving it to the animal rescue centers. So I thought that was pretty cool. Big shout out to Vero. And in fact, they've already donated some, Jay. They donated 750 ADA to this animal nonprofit association called Galgos 112. So 112 is interesting. When I was living in South Korea, 112 was actually the fire station. You know how we have 911 in North America? Well, some of these other countries, they'll have like a different number for police versus fire station, and 112 was the fire station and paramedics. So that's kind of cool. I wonder if that's why it's called Galgos 112. But they donated a bunch of ADA to them already, which is pretty cool. So by supporting Crypto Dognuts, you're supporting abandoned animals. So big thank you here to everyone who supported this project. And that's why this is a personal favorite of mine. I'm not sure that each Dognut is going to be worth 10,000 ADA tomorrow, but I don't care. They're super fun. They're super cute. And they help doggos and cattos just like me. Jay, what do you think about helping dogs? Are you a dog lover? Are you a cat lover?
Yeah, man, I like animals. Yeah, we have a dog. Me and my wife do, and Australian Labradoodle, wicked cute. Just really smart. Too smart for her own good, to be honest with you. Way too smart. Like, she knows. I've said this probably on another Gauntlet, but she knows how to get our attention. She's able to identify objects that are valuable enough for us that if she grabs them and starts chewing on them, we will chase her and try to get her pretty much. And she loves it. She's wagging her tail the entire time. So instead of grabbing a tissue box, she'll grab like a remote controller that if she chews, it's like a hard enough process and amount of friction to get a new remote controller. So unbelievably smart creatures. I really don't think that we give them the benefit of the doubt. These creatures are unbelievably smart, whether it's a cat or a dog, but especially my dog. She's just got those genes where she's just too smart for her own good, and she plays us well, and we love her for it. We can't be mad at her because she's too cute. So yeah, it's definitely an interesting dynamic.
She's very cute. I've seen her on camera. One of the cutest dogs. She doesn't like me so much. Every time we're talking, she barks.
She
She
hates
hears Timmy the
Timmy.
cat.
She
She
hates
hates
Timmy.
Timmy.
No, I'm
So
just kidding. She actually likes Cardano cats, so she actually does like you. It's all good. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so wrapping up on Crypto Dognuts, I just want to remind everyone their mint is May 3rd. So that's coming up pretty soon. And then the website is cryptodognuts.com. And their Twitter, let me bring it up here. Their Twitter is at CryptoDognuts. If you want to follow them, at CryptoDognuts. And then there'll be a link to their Discord as well. They have a wicked Discord. There's sneak peeks in there, all kinds of stuff happening in their Discord. They're not doing a ton on Twitter, but Discord is where it's at for this project. And you can meet Vero. Vero's the founder of the project, beautiful artist, and she's very transparent. She has her Instagram out there, totally doxed. And so, anyone who considers that very important, they're totally doxed. But yeah, make sure to give a follow to at Crypto Dognuts. A big thank you to them for sponsoring us today. For helping J Crypto out. It's a humble project, right? 250 dog nuts at 42 ADA, but they still decided to help us out. So big shout out.
Big shout out. A couple of things in the chat. Got a pic of your dog. I'll have to get one and bring it on to a Gauntlet or something. And then we also had a question here. Will the females have dog nuts? I'd imagine that they won't. It'll be interesting to see. Very funny aspect. They put these little kind of nuts on these dogs. I think that's hilarious. Somebody said that you covered this in the past, Timmy. People still going crazy over Seal Society. The chat's just going insane. We definitely have some funny chats. I'm not sure if I should bring them up or not from Nick and Connor. But yeah, it's a good conversational starter. This project has been, I think, for again, bringing it back. It's a fun project. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be funny. And that in its own right, though can be ridiculous, is also refreshing, right? Because it's not just about, having a project that you're holding to flip and whatnot. I'm sure that there's some people in the community that literally are looking for communities to be part of and have fun in. So very interesting stuff.
Okay, very cool. All right. So did we want to talk about Wanchain or the roadmap and then do Seal Society? Seal Society is coming, maybe 20 minutes, guys. So they'll be here. But what do you think, Jay, for the intermission?
Why don't we go into the Wanchain? That's a good call. So want me to pull up the I'll pull up the tweet real quick because this was interesting. Or 1 second here. Let me just go like this. Share screen. Bum. Okie doke. So what do we got? We have Wanchain. Can you see this?
We can, Jay.
Okay. So let me go to this tweet from Input Output. This week, Wanchain org announced a new interoperability solutions for Cardano. Read their guest blog to learn about the development of decentralized, non-custodial, bidirectional cross-chain bridges connecting Cardano to other layer ones. So I asked Timmy before, I was like, hey, Timmy, have you ever used a bridge? The thing is, I think a lot of people native to Cardano probably haven't because they've been waiting for DeFi on Cardano. But back in the day when I was first doing, cryptocurrency YouTubes, I had to use a lot of bridges because if I went from the Binance Smart Chain to, KuCoin, right? Because I needed to sell my BNB for Matic or ETH to go to another blockchain that had DeFi, it was costing me a lot of money because the fees from going from KuCoin, even with USDT or ETH, were like $30 sometimes, whereas a bridge would be like a fraction of the cost going from Binance Smart Chain to Polygon, whether it's Evo, DeFi, or some of these other bridges. It was a fraction of the cost, and you could go from blockchain to blockchain with these bridges. So I do recognize the importance for interoperability and for flows of capital for bridges. Now, Input Output has put out a lot of information on how they plan to scale. And two of the ways that they plan to scale are through side chains and bridges. So then there's this beautiful article going into Wanchain and all the different things that it's doing. And essentially, to me, it's creating a bridge effect, a bi-directional bridge effect, where basically you can go from a unidirectional bridge and then a bidirectional bridge are two different things. Uni is when you can only go one way, right? So like going to Milcomeda early stage from the Flint wallet, that was like a unidirectional bridge, but now they have it, I believe, so that way you can go from Milcomeda back to Cardano mainnet. But I haven't used that yet. I haven't gone from Milcomeda back to Cardano mainnet just because I don't have that much capital on Milcomeda and I haven't tried it yet. But I do know that they were working on a bridge back to Cardano mainnet. But a bidirectional bridge goes both ways. So you can easily go from Cardano to a side chain and then back to Cardano, or you can go from Cardano to another layer one through that side chain and then back from that other layer one to Cardano. So to me, this is a big thing. Any comments on this, Timmy?
Yeah, definitely. I have a lot of thoughts on this partnership, and I think I might actually take over the screen share if I can and make you small, as I like to do. And then let me actually do this, and let me get a little bit zoomed in. So I wanted to kind of build on like what is Wanchain, why Wanchain? Wanchain is basically like a bridge, but not just with Cardano. They've already bridged a ton of other cryptos, and so I wanted to see which ones. And the list is huge, right? You've got the big ones here, obviously Bitcoin, Ethereum, but they've got Avalanche, they've got Polkadot, they've got Dogecoin, Polygon. And the way it works now is since Cardano will be bridged into the Wanchain protocol, you'll be able to go from Cardano to any of these other networks, right? Once you get into the center, you take the bridge to like the little island. There's bridges from there to all these other crypto networks. It's a whole network. And so I imagine you'll be able to go from Cardano to Polkadot, Cardano to XRP, Cardano to Binance, Dogecoin. They've got Phantom here. I hold a little bit of Phantom. And so I think that's really, really cool that now you're going to have Cardano interoperability with all of these major coins and projects. And I love that Soldana is not on here. What's that, J Crypto?
No, I was just going to say funny Soldano, but what's interesting about this too is I'm excited for NFT interoperability. And I'm excited for NFT interoperability because some of these NFT assets have utility within virtual environments. For example, a metaverse, whether it be a gameplay asset like a bubble jet from Cornucopias or just an avatar. And I think what people forget is, yeah, we can take crypto assets and bridge them from one place to another. So sometimes how that looks is you wrap it, right? So like you lock up the asset, whether it's, let's say, BNB token, and you're basically locking that up, and then the other side of the bridge on a different layer one, you're getting a wrapped BNB. I'm interested to see how this will work when it comes to NFTs that we want to use on a different blockchain or a different metaverse project on a blockchain. Will it be the same way? Will we be wrapping that NFT so now it can interact on a different blockchain, and will it retain some of its utility? It's going to be very interesting to see how NFT interoperability kind of looks. But I do know one thing: bridges and sidechains are so important for NFT interoperability.
I love that you mentioned NFTs because I think what this can unlock is imagine having a multi-chain NFT marketplace, right? So a lot of us are using jpg.store, and then you've got OpenSea on the Ethereum side. But imagine having one marketplace, and you can just see all of the projects, and you can pay using whatever currency you want. So I love it if I could buy an Ethereum NFT using my ADA, or buy a different project's NFT using my ADA, or maybe I can sell my ADA, my Cardano NFT, and get some Ethereum. Maybe I could sell my one of my space buds maybe and get some Bitcoin. I think of space buds as the Bitcoin of Cardano, and how cool would it be to maybe like deleverage and trade a Cardano NFT for some of these other cryptocurrencies.
And you just brought up a great point, because imagine that a NFT marketplace that's cross-chain, but also an NFT lending service, because we've seen lending pawn just explode in volume recently. and it's been interesting to see all the people that have used Lending Pond and have said, hey, you know what, this is kind of a cool idea. I like this. Well, imagine if you could now bring your NFT and take collateral out against it, but with a broader market. So now people that are lending, on Ethereum can be like, okay, well, let me look at this NFT. Oh, it's a space bud. Well, what's the value of it? Oh, okay. So right now the floor price is 5,000 ADA, and this person's asking for 4,500 ADA. All right, I'll open up that loan because I know enough about space buds now. It's going to do a couple of things. It's going to actually be able to unlock more loans, but it's in more capital to be lent, but it's also going to bring exposure into some of these other blockchains, because whenever you're loaning on a platform like Lending Pond, the first thing that you do is research what the NFT is doing, what collection it's part of. So I think that a cross-chain lending service would also unlock a tremendous amount of research and bring NFT collectors together from different blockchains.
So cool. So cool. So that's the Wanchain Cardano partnership announced just a couple days ago. I think they were on the Cardano 360 video as well on Thursday. So check that out, everybody, if you want to learn more about how Cardano is now starting to really, really get interoperability. This is the island upon the ocean strategy, and it's all unfolding just as our leader, Charles, predicted. So anything else on this one, J Crypto, or should we maybe pivot over to the SEAL Society? Is it time to give some love to the SEAL fam, or should we keep them waiting a little bit longer? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that we can pivot real quick. Timmy, I'm gonna go get set up real quick, and I'll be back in about 2 minutes. If you want to touch upon anything else before we bring them on, is the SEAL Society in the chat? If you're in the chat, definitely comment #SEAL. Definitely let us know who is here from the SEAL Society, and we'll also try to bring up a little bit of the chat. But I'll be back in like just 1 minute here, Timmy.
All right, you handle your business. I'm going to share some info about the project first. I'm actually going to bring up, let me bring up my screen, and I want to give you kind of some high-level info. I think a lot of you in the chat right now are already pretty familiar with SEAL Society, but for anyone that's not, I wanted to share some kind of high-level details of the project and help you follow them. A lot of hashtag SEALs showing up. But for anyone who's not aware, on Twitter, their Twitter handle is @SEALSocietyNFT, @SEALSocietyNFT. So make sure you start by following them there, and then you'll see a link to their website, which is sealsociety.io. And so I was taking a look at this earlier this week, and they've got a wicked countdown, which is super easy to see. And their mint, their first initial mint, is happening in just 5 days, about 5.5 days. You can see here, 5 days and 16 hours. And they've got a bunch of info on the utility, but I'm actually going to go over that in just a little minute. The mint is on May 6th to 7th, and I brought up a calendar here. That's the upcoming Friday and Saturday. So they're going to be minting this upcoming Friday and Saturday, less than a week from now. And there's 3,333 seals in the collection, which is great. That's also like a pretty rare collection. It's not a 12K, 10K, or 8K drop. It's just a beautiful 3K and a bit, 3K and change. And check out the price here, 55 ADA. Now that's really interesting because you're seeing a lot of projects now mint at 100 ADA, 120 ADA. We had Mechanism overexposed mint at 150 ADA as the price of ADA is coming down. But this is a very humble, a very modest 55 ADA, not being greedy. And I love how they say here, we are high class, not high cost. And high class is right. Let's take a look at some of the art, take a look at some of these seals, and then we'll talk about the utility, and then we'll have the team on. But first, I just want to show some of the art. It is very high class. It's Renaissance era art. They've kind of built it after the Renaissance. And you can see it's kind of like a James Bond looking one here, but he's got this nice kind of smoking coat, smoking jacket, tuxedo here on the seal. So I love this kind of sophisticated approach to the art. They've got robot seals flexing the wicked Cardano logo here. This is a mix of all kinds of traits on this seal, S02. And then you've got a Superman seal, right? So super seal, you could call this one. I love the whiskers. I think they've done like some really good work. I've got some whiskers myself, but I could see, this gentleman right here has some pretty long whiskers. In the animal kingdom, long whiskers are a good thing. We say if you have long whiskers, you also have. Well, let's just move on. Here's another Seal Society right here. Very cool, psychedelic colors. Uh, Wicked. Is that a vape? I think. In his mouth and a glowing nose. It's like Rudolph the Green-Nosed Seal. I thought this one was pretty cool. I love that skin treatment there. Haven't seen anything like that. And then another one here I picked off, which has the fish in the mouth. So you're starting to see some traits that maybe you haven't seen on other projects. The fact that it's a seal lets us do a lot of different things, like a vape. I'm not sure if I've seen a vape. So that's pretty cool. I'm just reading the chat. People are having a lot of fun in the chat. So the art is pretty cool. Clearly Renaissance art. I'm going to jump back to their website and talk about some utility. But how about first, Jake, what do you think of the art? What do you think of what I've shown so far?
The biggest thing I've noticed about the art, and I'm not a qualified art person by any means. I am an artist, believe it or not. I know I talk a lot about utility and how I'm not a huge art investor, but I do paint. I've been painting for a while. But what's funny is in some of these seals, maybe not this one. Yeah, but this is a perfect example. What I really liked about it actually was kind of a cross collaboration of two different art styles. There was another seal that had the same kind of, like watercolor up top where you see the seal's face a little bit, like it's just a little bit, sort of that kind of art style with a realistic suit of armor. Was one of the seals. So I actually like that kind of contrast that they've been able to do, which is interesting. Obviously, there's a bunch of unique traits. There's a bunch of colors. And gosh, I got to tell you, there's been no time in history like there is now where you have so many interpretations of like abstract interpretations of how animals could like look in terms of a humanoid animal than you do right now in 2022. Because this is just what it's all about. I mean, PFP, social projects, right? The other day I was talking to Timmy and I was talking on my channel too about this index, and it's breaking down different NFT genres. And one of the genres of NFTs is social NFTs, like PFP projects. So it's interesting. It's definitely very unique. I would also add, you definitely don't see projects with this kind of cross collaboration of realism and then a little bit of softer colors and painting styles than in this Seal Society. So I actually like the diversity that this project is bringing.
Yeah, I love that, J Crypto. You said it really well. One thing I want to show off a little bit more on is the art of the website. The website's actually quite well built, and I hadn't seen this yet on another project. Check this slider, right? You can kind of slide over here and see the natural version, and then here's the mech version. I just love this kind of implementation they did here, where as I'm sliding,
Isn't that cool?
it's scrubbing between the two different versions. That's so cool. And you can see the head, right? The body stays the same, but the head is changing
And the
between the
art
two
is
variations.
completely different. Like, that's what I mean. Like, there's kind of, that country
Oops.
song, Old Town Road, where you have rap and country kind of coming together. I like
I'm not
that. And I
familiar,
like,
Jay. I don't know that song. Can you maybe sing a little bit? Like, how does it go?
yeah, man, it's definitely a popular song to me. We'll have to jam out sometime, but that time won't be now. But it's kind of interesting because it was one of the first kind of collaborations of rap and country. And I actually like seeing different art styles if it can work. It's a dangerous thing to do, actually. It's very risky, but I think if anything, Steel Society tremendously well on this concept.
You got it. Look at this one, eh? The scrub between this golden seal with the vape pen, totally baller. And then you've got this one. This is like post, psychedelic experimentation here. The VR goggles there and the glowing nose. Very cool. So I thought that was a pretty cool implementation here, showing us the different variations. Let's talk about their utility, and then maybe we'll have the team on. In terms of the utility, they've broken it down in a few different ways. Okay. The first thing I want to do is just starting at the top. Maybe I'll actually open this in another tab for us. They've got a little bit of lore. And so they talk about how the story itself takes place in an alternate reality where the mammal cousins, right? The humans, mammal cousins, the seal, they became the dominant life form. Okay. And so right now in our world, humans are the dominant life form, but this is an alternate reality where seals are the dominant life form. And the universe is so big, J Crypto, there must be a planet out there where seals are actually the dominant life form. That's what I believe. Because we have infinite worlds, we have infinite possibilities, which means there must be a universe where seals are actually the dominant species. And so that's pretty cool. They walk you a little bit through that. They talk about how everything is handcrafted. Okay, over 50 traits. And the artist Yova, his name is Yova, Yova, and he spent the last 5 years working on like developing his skills. So very experienced artist. I think it's a he. Let me just see here. Yes, it is a he. Okay, cool. And then CNFT Renaissance. As I mentioned, it's the Renaissance style. So they're kind of giving a nod to Rembrandt, Da Vinci, Velasquez, all these kind of famous artists. But get this, J Crypto, you get the full commercial rights. So we saw the D-Bag MFers this
That's
month really
amazing.
explode. The D-Bag MFers exploded because they have the CCO, the Creative Commons license that lets you do whatever you want with it. Well, it looks like the Seal Society is following in kind. You're going to have the full IP rights.
That's
So that's
really
pretty
cool. That
huge.
makes me want to get one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
That makes me want to get one.
How cool is that? What would you do if you had unlimited resources, Jay? What would you maybe do with a seal? Would you open like a t-shirt line or a restaurant, or what would you maybe do?
It totally depends, like the biggest, if I'm being honest, like the biggest thing that it depends on is how well the project does. Because if the project does really well and it ends up becoming something like a Bored Ape Yacht Club or just something really big and well known, you can actually do a lot with it. You can take bigger risks with it, is what I mean. But if it's not quite to that level, you can still do stuff, because honestly, people doing stuff with their seals is what's probably going to make that project also become big, I would argue.
Yeah.
But I just think that, opening up a restaurant with the seal as like the main theme around it, it's kind of it's a big risk for some people that maybe are looking to do something in the Web3 space and open up a business that only get one
Yeah.
shot at it because they just don't have an unlimited amount of resources.
That's a good point.
So whatever it is, though, I think what's interesting about it is people that are creative will thrive, because there's a ton of things you can do. You can create a story about your seal, and you can make that story on different platforms. You can put a story into either an anime or a book format,
Oh
and
wow.
build an entire IP around your seal and what the seal people are like on this planet that Timmy thinks exists too. You could really go into it. So I do think that that's interesting. Plus, you can get the community to support you. I think a big problem with people that are starting IP from scratch is they don't have a fan base. People that do this with the seals already have a community that they can tap into, be like, hey, share this. I want to get this off the ground. I really could use your guys' help. And it's ultimately going to benefit you because it's going to build the brand of the Seal Society. So that's how I think about IP and NFTs. And I think
Jeez,
it's a
that's a lot
huge
smarter.
thing waiting to be tapped. No.
Such a wicked answer. Such a wicked answer. I love that, Jake. Let's cover two more. I want to talk about the utility. And we had this beautiful comment from Patrick here. Get 2 seals or get 12 seals, J Crypto. 1 seal is not enough. And I'll tell you why. This is actually really insightful. They've actually got this idea of colonies. And so different seals, each seal belongs to a colony. And so depending on what colony you'll have, you'll get different rewards. And so let me zoom in here. I see you leaning in. We've got the sophisticated seal. If you have that, it's going to increase
Sorry.
your staking rewards. No, I was zoomed out there. So let me make it bigger. The sophisticated seal will help you get more rewards. And then if you have an agent, there's going to be extraction missions. So you can imagine sending one of the agent seals, these kind of James Bond looking ones, to some mission and maybe get some kind of a reward. There's a robotics one, which is going to help you build meta assets. So maybe, they'll have a marketplace with like furniture and things like that if they have some kind of 3D space. And the robotics one will let you build assets and maybe sell them on a marketplace. So that's a way to get some income. A military seal will help you recruit other seal NFTs. Now, this is cool. I don't know what they're going to do exactly, but you can imagine them partnering with other projects and the military seal having some kind of a bridge, right? We are just talking about Wanchain. This is maybe the Wanchain of the Seal Society. It will bridge to other projects, maybe. You'll be able to create families with a 9 to 5, right? 9 to 5, like you're working your job, right? Very steady company worker, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They might be able to let you breed and create families. So that's kind of a cool idea that they might be able to do with that colony. And then the party colony, which is my favorite. I like the party. You'll get fun airdrops if you own some of the party colony seal. So that's really, really cool. Patrick is going for one from each colony. I like that idea. I think one from each colony is a good start, and then going from there. Because are you going to sell one? I always buy two of everything, so at least I could sell one and just keep one for later. So those are the colonies. And so there's tons of utility and depth and functionality there. But one more thing I want to show is the fish token. And you might like this also, J Crypto. They've got their own token that'll be coming out. It's called Dollar Fish, and it's going to be used in a variety of ways. Physical assets, buying stuff in the market, so maybe some furniture, and a bunch of other things they've talked about, maybe buying NFTs with the fish token. And then merchandise as well. So maybe some seal hats, some seal sweaters or something like that. So the fish token has a 10 billion supply, 10 billion fish tokens. And get this, they're going to have a faucet, right? So you're going to be able to go onto their website and buy fish token. So of course, they're going to have staking, right? You're going to be able to get fish token for free. They're going to have airdrops and a bunch of like other ways to get fish token. But if you just want to buy a bunch of fish token, you're going to be able to use their faucet. And it's 1 penny per token, 1 penny per fish, right? And so I was doing the math. If you consider that there's 10 billion tokens, and if the market prices it according to the faucet, that's 100 million ADA. So that's a sense of what the market cap could potentially be. 10 billion divided by 100 is 100 million ADA for the full market cap of the fish token, if it's priced at 1 cent. So that's pretty cool. They've got the allocation here. The team is only taking 10%. We've seen some teams take 20%, 25%. So that's not being greedy at all. And they're going to be getting on the dexes as well. So that's pretty cool, kind of kicking off those liquidity pools and saving some for marketing. And then, as I mentioned, staking rewards. So you'll be able to get fish token just by staking. And it'll depend on how many seals you have and which colony that seal belongs to, right? Remember, we were looking at one of the colonies that increases your rewards, the sophisticated seal colony. The base reward will be 100 fish every day. Wow. So if you just have like one of these seals, it looks like for each seal you'll get at least 100 per day. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool utility. Very thoughtful. I thought the idea of colonies will have some cool collection mechanics and dynamics. And the staking on the coin is cool. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was gonna say, going back to Patrick's comment earlier, it really makes sense because if each seal, let's just say that you're getting 100 fish per day and you're able to swap that for 1.01 ADA per day per seal, if I'm not mistaken. And that means that the more that you have, you can kind of optimize your collection to yield a certain amount of ADA per day. So if you have 20 seals, obviously it sounds like you have potential to make 20 ADA per day, which is very interesting from a passive income standpoint. I think that they're able to maybe do this swap. I'd love to ask the team, but maybe a good portion from minting this project have been set aside to basically swap the fish for the ADA. It sounds like that's where they're able to stabilize that price, because they're saying, hey, it's at least going to be this. So I'm not sure where that funding is coming from, but obviously there won't be a ton of fish dumped on the market all at once because it's going to be slowly released. But it is interesting. It's very interesting. It reminds me a little bit of the Ape Society in some ways, but in some ways, man, it's completely unique what they're trying to create here. So we'll see. And I'll also have questions too about like the meta aspect of this project. I mean, the certain family of meta seals that can create assets. That's going to be interesting to see what comes out of, because I'm huge into the 3D asset space. I think that it's going to be a large space. I don't think we have infrastructures to prove its worth yet, but those infrastructures are being built and becoming more interoperable and having different wallets and different blockchains integrated with them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what comes out of that. But nonetheless, this project isn't just creating utility for its holders. It's not just a great art NFT project. It's actually trying to design a community that continues to pump out more into the ecosystem, more value, more creativity. And for that, I think it's a cool project to support in of itself, because it's going to be contributing to the overall innovation. It's going to be fun to watch how this blueprint does, because it is a little bit different than other blueprints I've seen before. But I think that we do have one of the team members, Timmy, if I'm not mistaken, ready to hop on, if that's cool.
Yeah, we do. We have one of the first. So let's just bring them on right now, and maybe we can get started with some introductions. Hello, Stevie. Welcome to the show.
Hey, fellas. What's good? Timmy, AJ Crypto.
What's going on, Stevie? How we doing?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing pretty good. So excited to be on here, man. You guys make me nervous. You're like super celebrities in the space, man. I got the jitters a little bit.
No, welcome to the Gauntlet, man. We love bringing on guests, but we're really excited. The chat's been going crazy about the Seal Society too, man. So it's gonna be fun to have you on. I'm sure that people appreciate you coming on too.
Nice, thank you. Yeah, you know, Seals, we get silly, man. So we come in, we roll deep. You know, the colony is here.
I love that. Not silly, but they I was reading the Discord. They get silly. It's like a play on words there, a play of silly. Super, super creative. You have such a wicked community. Like, they really showed up today for the channel. They're exploding in the live chat. I wonder, like, Stevie, how have you guys built such a strong community? I have some ideas. I've been reading your Discord, but maybe you can share, like, what's the secret to the community you've built here?
You know what? So I'm gonna tell you a little story. So when we first started, the artist Yova, you know, I found him online. I was like, hey man, I got this idea for these seals. They're like sophisticated, you know, they're kind of thought. Like if you look on Google, you'll probably see the seal that we modeled it off. And I was like, you know, they're smart, you know, they're sophisticated, they're classy. And so he's like, I was like, you know, I kind of want a portrait style, want it to kind of look realistic. You know, I did a couple portraits in school, and he was like, yeah, you know, I think I can do it. So give him a week, man. I didn't hear anything from him. I thought he rug pulled me on my money. I was like, okay, whatever, it's cool. So I sent him a message like, hey man, it's cool. You know, I know it might have been a challenge. Don't worry about it. He instantly shoots me back a message with that initial sneak peek. And dude, when I saw it, like that very first seal, you know, with the cigar in his mouth, that very first, and I was like, dude, like, you hit it right on the money. And then so right then and there, like that day, I started the Twitter page. I put the first 222 in the Discord gets OG, and then like it just went bananas. Like a lot of people got in there. We got the first OGs right on that day, and then no lie, it's just been organic growth ever since. Like we just been growing slow. Like if you watch the progress from February 26th when we first launched the Twitter to today, it's been a very organic, like a baby little seed just got planted, and just we just been watering it the whole time, and we're here now.
Like a baby seal, even maybe.
Little seal pup.
I wanted to ask Stevie, so were you inspired by like any other NFT collections? Because obviously in February it was an interesting time. You know, there was enough probably things to maybe get some inspiration through. There's probably a backstory that you have to share about how you got into Cardano and CNFTs. But like, I'm just curious, was there like NFT projects or just broader projects that you were kind of inspired by to that maybe have hints or tints in your project to date?
Oh yeah, most definitely. One of the biggest influences and inspirations was the Ape Society. Is the Ape Society?
Mm,
I really like that project. They really hit it right on the nose with the art. Really like their vibe that they have going. So that's one for sure. I definitely have that portrait style in me. You know, like I said, I went to school. I did a
yeah.
lot of oil paintings. So I just like that vibe. And I was like, you know what? If I do an NFT, I want it to be in that world, in that sense,
Uh,
in that vibe. I actually started on Ethereum. I actually about early January. My dad actually he hipped me to NFTs. He said, "Stevie, I know you like art. You need to start looking into NFTs." And I'm like, "What?" Yeah, I was like, "Okay,
Shout out
whatever." I
to
kind of brushed
Pops,
it off.
man. Let's go.
Yeah, you know what's crazy about that is like a lot of people think this is a young man's game, or this is like, you know, it's like a
Yeah.
like, you know, teeny bopper type of thing. Dude, there's a lot of 50 plus 60 that are into NFTs, man. So but yeah, I started on Ethereum. I was getting just killed over there. The fees was just tearing me up. And I was like, man,
Mhm.
I got rugged on a fake Azuki. It was just so sad, man. I
Oh,
lost thousands of
uh,
dollars. Yeah. And then so I left Ethereum. I went to Solana for a minute. I just couldn't find a vibe. And then I saw Cardano. And then when I went to Cardano, dude, I was like, man, I love this community. It's so tight knit. It's like a niche of a niche. It just
yeah.
felt so cool. And I'm from Los Angeles, like, you know, and I'm from like the hip hop underground scene there. That's why I was raised with breakdance, graffiti, and in that whole vibe, you
Oh
know,
wow.
like festival type culture. And so when I got to Cardano, I was like, this feels homey to me. Like this feels very friendly to me. So I went over here and I was like, you know what? I want to create an NFT. I'm a creative guy. I want to hop on the other side of the fence instead of, you know, being a purchaser of NFTs. I want to be a creator in the space. And
mm.
that's kind of how I got my start. And yeah, I would say Ape Society was a huge influence. I love Clay Nation. I really like what Isra is doing with Purdy Cats. Oh man. Mandrills, I like their art style as well. I keep my eyes open. I keep my eyes open. But yeah, I just love Cardano, man.
Dude, I
That's
love
so
that.
cool. And
Timmy, sorry, do you want to go? We'll go like bing and bang because I think we both got a lot of like fun questions for you. So we'll just play ping pong.
yeah,
Timmy,
yeah.
go.
Let's go back and forth. I just wanted to comment on something you said. Like, did you actually go to art school then? Like, you talked about learning about oil paintings, and like, is that your background?
A little bit. So I'm just a creative guy at heart. Like I've done a
Nice.
lot of just creative things, music, dance, a little bit, very little acting, just for, you know, more family type things. But I went to college for art. Didn't graduate, but I went there for art because I've always been an art type of guy. So I did a lot of oil paintings. I've done paintings of my wife, my friends who still have their paintings today. Shout out to Raffle. He's one of my OGs from back in the day. I
Uh-huh.
did paintings of my grandparents. So it's just a vibe that I like. I don't know if you guys heard of Kehinde Wiley. He's a oil painter, and he done a lot of stuff in hip hop in regards to hip hop portraits. He's a guy that I really like. I got his book and I got it autographed at the Getty Museum when I went to go see him live.
Oh,
So
wow.
I'm an art nerd really and a culture nerd in regards to creating things. You know, anybody tell me a creative idea, I just nerd out over it because I'm so into like making whatever you have up here come out in reality. You know, so I'm really big on that.
So like, is that kind of why too? Because I wanted to get into this. We've seen the D bag mother effers, you know, do the CCO license. We see some language in what Timmy showed us that was basically giving us a little bit of an idea how important it is to you guys to give the rights to do things with these NFTs. And being a creative yourself, I'm sure that in the music industry, which is one of the most, you know, it's like the best time, I feel like, to be a musician with all the conversations that are happening
Oh
around
yeah.
how you can branch out from the record labels. Is what do you see people using this NFT for? Because Timmy asked me that question, but I'd love to ask you. And also, like, what process did you have to go through? Was it a CCO license? Like, what is kind of like the underlying, just for people that don't know, because I'm always curious, to
Mhm.
allow holders to be able to do whatever they want with these NFTs?
Yeah, thank you. That's wonderful, Jay Crypto. And I want to kind of piggyback on what you said earlier because I love the way you put that. You were saying, you know, like you can create a story around your seal. Like, that's super cool, man. The fact that you bring that up and say, hey, you know, you might want to make a comic book, or you might want to do this, do that around your seal. That's super sweet. And the community is so tight knit, man. And anybody that decides to do something like that would be totally supportive of you. Actually, that one that Timmy has up right now, we already have a story around him from one of our mods who created the character James Seal.
Oh, wow.
And we do our Seal Saturday events. We just did one yesterday. We started at midnight, like Saturday, 12 a.m. UTC. But we do this whole James Seal event where he has to fight the Ethereum shark and get back things. So yesterday he had to get back my beach ball because the Ethereum shark stole my beach ball. We couldn't start Seal
Bastard.
Saturday.
Bastard of a shark.
Yeah,
Shark's bad.
I'd love to hear it. I'd love to hear more about that. Actually, just a sec. Like, I was looking at your Discord, and like, you guys have been doing a lot of contests and activities, right? I think I saw like a fan art contest, and like, wasn't there another like game? I think like with the whitelist and things like that. And you have different tiers, I believe, right? Can you tell us like about the contests and the things that you've been doing in your Discord?
Oh yeah. So one of the big things we want to do is create a culture, not necessarily a grind culture. We did have a leveling whitelist where you can, you hit level 6, you get tier 3, you hit level 10, you get tier. We had that implemented for a little bit, but we mainly want to just be a culture that rewards for being a part of what we're doing. So we have Gauntlet games that we do. We have just on the spot promotions for being in the chat, for helping people in the chat learn about the project. We have our James Seal event where hey man, what's the code for this? I need everybody put your numbers in, guess the number that. So we do like fun things. We have we do partnership games with other projects.
Wow.
We actually have a animal trivia tomorrow with Ada Exotics that we do. We're very like network friendly, relationship friendly. We partnered with over a dozen projects for whitelist. And yeah, we do a lot of cool things, man. We're a very open-minded society, and we don't want to just shelter it in with us. We want to be available for everybody. So tier 3 you'll be able to get 2, tier 2 you'll be able to get 3, and then tier 1 you'll be able to mint 4, and that's for the whitelist. And then that's on May 6th, and then on May 7th you'll be able to go public at 4 p.m. UTC. But yeah, man, you got to come into the Discord, man. It's a lot of fun.
Very cool. And so there's different tiers that will give you different amounts. I just want to talk about the minting, so that it starts on Friday. And it's the same price for the whitelist and the public, from what I gather. How about how many are going to go in whitelist? Are you going to save some for the public? Because there's only 3,000 and change. How does the distribution work between what's available on whitelist?
Yeah, so right now we have just under 2,000 for whitelist, and that's if
Okay.
everybody mints max out. We're expecting people are going to get close to minting the max amount, so we're planning to have around 1,000 to 1,200 for the public. So
wow.
there's going to be a shot. It might be a little bloodbath, but it's definitely going to be a public for sure.
Very cool. Go
Hey,
ahead,
you
Jay.
guys,
So-
you guys mind
that,
if I
Stevie?
can I check on RJ? I sent him the link. He's on mobile. He might not be able to get it. I just want to check in on him because I know he was here.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Yeah. Take a minute. What are you thinking so far, Jay Crypto? Have you seen anything that
Yeah, man, I'm seeing a lot of interesting, well-rounded aspects of this project, man. Like, I think that what's great about this project so far, but I do want to ask Stevie something else once he's done checking on RJ, because there's an element to this that's very interesting. And obviously the Ape Society, they've just their community has just exploded. I wonder, there's probably some crossover, I would imagine, of some of the apes to some of the seals. I think I've seen that in the chat a little bit, but I would suspect that's going to happen just because one of the factors that Timmy talked about, where you kind of have this family dynamic where your seal is part of a certain like mafia type feel, or just like a culture driven. And that reminds me of like the DAO kind of conversation, where you have a certain culture inside of your project that's building towards the meta seals, I believe, that are building meta assets. That's so interesting to me, because if have you thought of becoming like, or turning this into a DAO at all? Is there any initiatives? Because this reminds me a lot of like the craftsmen in the Ape Society that are building crafting tools, which I think is a great blueprint to start out for your community and just have different initiatives.
Nice, nice. We have spoken of creating it as a DAO. It's something that's definitely in the talks, in the works as a possibility. Right now, it's not in the plans. We will be having, you know, like you say, different groups and different colonies that represent um, the society. So, like you said, with the robotics colony, you'll be able to create metaverse assets. So what we're going to have is on our fish marketplace, sealsociety.io/fish market, you'll be able to use your fish to mint these things. And also we're going to create a staking mechanism. I'm already in talk with a couple guys to get the staking mechanism up like right away. Like soon as we mint, you know, within the next 30 days, we're going to have the staking up.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
If we can, Stevie, I want to, let's bring
just
in
have one
RJ.
follow-up. Timmy,
I want to bring in
for sure.
RJ.
I need to say this, Stevie. I need to say it. I'm sorry, but this is so cool, man. Because when we talk about IP and people that are building certain things, it'd be really if you almost had like a little bit of a funnel that they could go through with the different parts of the community. If you want to build a storybook, a part of the society is working on, you know, this aspect to building a storybook, and this part of the society is working on this aspect. So that way you can pump out. You see what I'm saying? So you can pump out these different innovations of your IP, of your seal, but you have the community as the place to go to for that. I just think that might be where you're going. / maybe it would be something that you guys would consider.
Let's dive deep on that.
It is. We plan on implementing that. Yeah, man.
All right, we're gonna dive deep on that, but I want to bring in RJ. Thanks so much for kind of joining here. I think maybe introduce yourself, RJ. What's your role on the project?
Hey guys, what's happening? Can you hear me okay?
Yep, we hear you great.
Okay, good. Hey guys, thanks so much for having me. I'm in the great outdoors today, and I have to give a little backstory behind that. I apologize, I'm not in my professional studio at my house, i.e. my extra bedroom. But I'm out with my son today. He's at his t-ball game. I'm on full-on daddy duty today. Jay Crypto, I watched your episode from last week. I guess you were down with a little bout of the corona.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that. Yeah, we've got a similar thing. We got a similar issue going on in my household. So, you know, I think one of my beloved family members. Yeah, I think she was enjoying. I think she was hurting the first day or so, and maybe she's been enjoying a little bit of TV for the last 3 or 4 days. So I'm with my son. So I'm out with my boy. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
What's good, OG?
Yeah, but I'm so grateful for you guys having us on the show. You know, you are such big names in the space here, and you put out such good information, which is so valuable for the community. I really enjoy watching your shows with a full-on in-depth, you know, reviews of projects and reviews of what's happening. Because, like you said, there's so much going on in the space that it's just sometimes it's quite hard to pay attention to everything that's happening. So, again, just so glad to be here.
Very cool. I wanted to ask you super quickly, how have you guys kind of like split up your roles? There's a little bit of wind. Actually, RJ, a little bit of wind.
Someone must have swung and missed because we just got a huge gust of wind there.
There we go.
Let me go try to hide out in the gully here. Is this better?
I think so. And I don't know if there's a mute button, but you can kind of mute and unmute when you want to come off mute. But I was curious, how are you guys splitting up like the job? Is RJ mostly on the community, Stevie, or what's the mix there?
Yeah. So I'm a big story guy. You know, I just keep it real. I'm gonna let you know how it all happened. RJ was. You remember how I tell you about that initial 222 OGs? He was one of them. And he came he came in the community like day one. And this guy, because to start off, it was, you know, I knew that I needed a team. Like I knew, and back to my dad, he told me, I had a phone call with him before I started this project. And he said, Stevie, you need a team. And I was like, okay, you know, so I was like, I need a team. As soon as we started that Discord, RJ came in with like 20 dudes. He said, get in here. I remember reading it. Guys, get in here. He brought so many people. And I'm like, this guy got it popping. Like, this is the dude right here. And I kept my eyes open. I kept watching. And about a week later, I was like, hey, man, like, please, RJ, like, please, like, come on. And could you be our community moderator? Like, you know what you're doing. And you're super professional. And you got the vibe. So, you know, RJ is our community leader. He helps run that Discord. He helped build the whitelist tier system. He helped keep the bots out. He helped keep the the culture of community and building a society and not just having a bunch of people grinding all the time for whitelist. He's the foundation of our Discord and our community, and one of the pillars of the project. It's a 4-member team: myself, the creative director, founder, RJ, community leader, Oliver, our web dev, who's in Australia. I told him to be on today. He said it's 5:00 a.m. and it's too early for him, but he might sneak in here. Yeah. And Yova, our artist, he's from Argentina. So we have a very international team, very cultured, very nice group of people, and we just love it, man.
Very cool. Well, I might have to reach out to RJ a little bit later to learn how we did that with the community. I want to kind of get some tips there. But let's actually dive back into the details. Like before I was kind of cutting off Jay Crypto there, we were talking about staking. We were talking about the DAO. And one thing I wanted to get back to is like you have these colonies, right? And this is something I really, really love because it builds like tribalism, like positive tribalism within the project where like all the sophisticated seals are going to want to like kind of be a little bit of a team, right? And this is what Ape Society did, where with all the nobles and all of the craftsmen and all of the different families, they feel like this community. And so I love the idea of these colonies. I wanted to ask about robotics, like building meta assets. Is that kind of like craftsmen, like building furniture and being able to sell that? And is the idea you're going to have like a metaverse space, or what are these meta assets they might build?
Yeah. You want me to go for it, RJ, or you want to touch on it?
I mean, I'm happy to hop in and talk about it a little bit. So yeah, I mean, without giving away too much and without putting ourselves, putting the entire society in a position where we have revealed, a lot of details far into the future, I think what you hit on there is exactly what we're talking about. It's essentially like the craftsman type utility. It is the ability to build assets in a metaverse, in a universe that, let's call it a Web3 space that we hope to occupy. No, I shouldn't say we hope to, that we intend to occupy
Nice.
with the SEAL Society. Yeah.
That's very cool. And then I'll do maybe just one more, and then Jay Crypto, you can ask a question. But I wanted to ask about the extraction missions of the agents and how does that going to work? What are some of the ideas there? And I guess this is all non-committal. It's still early, but what are some ideas you're thinking about with these guys, the agents?
Yeah, I can touch on this one. So, like I said, we have our James Seal theme already going with our secret agents. So what we're going to do with the extraction missions, we're implementing smart contracts for every colony. So every colony is going to interact with their own smart contract and have their own events going. So one of the first events that we're going to have for the secret agents is that you can send your secret agents to a smart contract. You have 1 epic to complete this complex puzzle. If you complete it, you'll go ahead and get a reward. That can be ADA. That can be fish token. It's going to be very fun. We do plan on implementing metaverse interactive events once the metaverse and everything gets popping. We are in talks. I can't give too much alpha, but we already in talks with a big metaverse on Cardano that we plan on really working with specifically because we already built a relationship with the guys. I'm not going to spill it, RJ, but it's going to be super sweet, man. And we want to have like events. Say, hey, secret agents. If you're a holder of a secret agent, we're having this event in this metaverse, and make it interactive, make it fun, and really build that community and that colony aspect of it.
Very
Hey, I
cool.
just want to pop it. If it's all right, guys, I'd like to pop in here and just talk a little bit more and expound a bit more on what Stevie's talking about here. So you will hear this term community repeated over and over in the space. And I think that a lot of people have a general understanding that community is important, but I think that they don't understand the extent to which it's important. So when Stevie asked me to come on board as the community moderator, I started to think to myself, what is it that I want to do and receive from a project? And of course, there are the fundamental financial pieces of it. Hey, I want to make sure that I can, buy my NFT, hold it, and perhaps sell it at a later time. But guess what? I can do that with stocks as well. I can do that with index funds. If I throw money in an index fund, I'm almost certain that a decade from now I'm going to have more money than when I started with. But what I have personally found to be the most rewarding part of being in the NFT community is that the friends that I have made and the friends that I have both come into the space with and then actually made within the space and the interactions that we've had within that have been so much fun. You know, I'm not going to reveal you guys how far outside of high school I am, but I'm a number of years outside of high school. But I haven't had like this much fun, you know, interacting on the internet in a very, very long time, like in an exceptionally long time, you know. And it reminds me, I will date myself here, I mean, it reminds me of those days of being like on AOL Instant Messenger and like chatting with your friends, but just at a whole new level, where we're like buying, trading, selling, you know, the coolest assets together. So when I thought, you know, hey, this is how we're going to build our community, like that's where the concept of these colonies came from. We said, hey, let's have unique attributes to each of these groups to make it like there's a specific reason why I'd want to hold various assets from various colonies here. So it's, I mean, it's just a layered approach to this community build that starts with the art, extends with the utility, and ends with the actual relationships that you've built around the space.
Real.
I think that's right. If I could jump in right there, that's what I immediately was like noticing. It's a way to organize the participation of community members. And like in a lot of NFT projects, when you fall in love with an NFT projects, you might fall in love with some of the members of the community. Like RJ is saying, like he's having a lot of fun. But what's the next step? What's the next layer? And it sounds like the next layer is adding actual direction to where people can fill in the community and participate towards a common goal, which does sound kind of like a DAO in a way. I mean, it has a lot of DAO tints to it. So I wouldn't be surprised if a few months go by and more infrastructure is laid out and you guys say, oh, by the way, we're announcing that we're going to be transitioning to a DAO, but we'll see. I just love that. It's that extra organization that I think is that extra layer that we haven't seen in most projects. I think you're absolutely right, man.
Yeah, so it's a wicked mix of like beautiful art and utility. You guys are covering all the gambit. I actually want to ask a question about some of the art. Maybe I'll actually bring up my screen one more time. I see you, Stevie, there in your blue suit, looking pretty fresh. You know, blue is my favorite. Blue is, did you? That's so amazing. You know, blue is my favorite color, being a blue cat myself. I wanted to ask about this seal here. I saw you have some seals what is this? What is this? A blue seal?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. How did you get in the collection, Timmy?
I did. I snuck in. I did an extraction mission.
Dude, he's a hacker, man. He's a hacker. I'll tell you, this guy.
How Timmy and a seal had a baby, and
Timmy was busy over the last 9 months, I guess. Yeah.
Timmy, how did you do this, man? I gotta contact Yova. You and Yova got a secret conversation I don't know about. What's going on here?
Yova hooked me up. Yova is quite the stealthy person. Look at this. I love it. Timmy in the Secret Seal Society. This wicked blue skin. I love like the glow on the skin here too. He's totally nailed it. Really, really awesome. Tell us about this one. Like, how many of these Timmy seals are in the collection?
Yeah, so the Timmy seal, I got a backstory. So when I first contacted Timmy, this was about sometime early March, and I love the guy. I was watching listen to his ecosystem podcast and stuff while I'm at work, and I was like, hey man, you know, we got this NFT going. Could you, would you mind featuring us? He's like, yeah, he's super cool. Like he's like some people you reach out to and that you don't hear anything from. Timmy was right on the money. He's super cool. So I was like, hey man, we got some exclusive traits. Would you be interested? He's like, duh. So it's like
Let's go.
Hell yeah. So we sent a couple prototypes and ideas, and we finally got it down. We wanted to make sure we had to get the whiskers in there. Amazing. But the Timmy seal is going to be pretty rare. There'll maybe be a couple hundred at the most. It's going to be a rare trait.
Wow.
It will be in every single colony except robotics. Robotics is the colony. They only have their robotic seal. And while I'm mentioning that, every single colony will have their own specific traits that you can recognize them from. So but the Timmy seal is going to be super rare, super cool. I'm about to hodl all of my Timmy seals. Thank you, all you paper hands. If you put a Timmy seal on the floor, shame on you.
Shame on you. Shame on you. I'll be watching who's selling the Timmy seal. Hey, RJ, good to see you back.
Thanks. I'm still here, guys.
Yeah, awesome. And there's also a golden seal I was looking at too, and that one looks pretty sick. Is that going to be a rare trait? And is this a golden one? It looked like golden to me, but maybe it's just yellow. This one looks pretty rare. Is that right?
Yeah, golden seal is going to be pretty rare. And the colonies have rarities too. So the rarest colony is going to be the sophisticated. There will only be 333 sophisticated seals. So that's going to be super rare. The rarity actually goes in the order that they're listed on the colony sheet.
This one
So
here?
so it's sophisticated, agents, robotics, military, 9 to 5, and party, all in rarity. Party is going to have about 700. 9 to 5 is going to have about 6. Military is going to have about 5-ish. Robotics is going to have about 4-ish. Agents going to have about 4-ish. And the sophisticated is going to have 333.
Wow. And on the 9 to 5, so that's like the second most common, which makes sense because I mean, it says create families here. And you know, I know it's maybe early to commit to anything, but is that like leaving the door open for breeding down the road? Is that the idea?
Oh, Timmy, don't do it.
Don't answer.
I'm gonna just say one thing. We had a big seal call yesterday. We call it our seal call every Saturday, and we got some things locked in. I can't tell you all the alpha. Just know that they can create families, and it's gonna be it's gonna be huge. They have the most alpha utility. You know, it's going to happen. And just to let you guys know too, we are continually growing, continually working. It's not like we're going to drop and then disappear for 2 months and then show up with something. We're continually growing, continually building. We're going to continue to be a part of other projects. We have already a partnership collab capsule collection drop that we're doing with a project. We're here, man. So but they have a very alpha utility.
And then the very last one we haven't really talked about is the recruit CNFTs. Is this the partnerships with the other projects? And I don't know if we want to get RJ to take this one. What's the military colony? Is this partnerships? Because I see the word recruit there. What's maybe happening there?
Yeah, so I don't want to give away too much again, but I guess I'm feeling like I'm Mr. Secret here. I'm not intending to be like that. But the idea there is that they can recruit other seals both from within our own internal collection and with those that we partner with.
Very cool. I love it. So many possibilities here. And so you guys have really left the doors open. And I love that because like the Ape Society as well, they didn't have any of that until like after they minted. Like at the beginning, it was just the apes. And then later they're like, okay, we have these families and we have these classes and they released the pyramid. All that happened after mint. And so I love that you guys are keeping your cards close, and this is going to unfold. This is going to roll out, you know, maybe leading up to mint on Friday and maybe in the days and weeks after. So very, very smart. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, thanks. We like that feedback. You know, there are plenty of projects that are quite successful and they launch with very little information. But one of the, atmospherics of the, one of the atmospherics of the space that we are starting to assess, because we're constantly evaluating what's going on, and it's happening at such a rapid rate that we feel that the market is so saturated. Thank you, buddy. The market is so saturated with projects that if you don't have enough specificity to explain to people why you have a value proposition, then you risk being in a position that you're just lost in the noise of everything else happening out there. At the same time, if you launch with too much information or you're so ambitious that it's not clear you have a true roadmap about how you'll get there, then I think you can go the other direction. So it's a very fine line to walk between putting enough information out there that piques the interest while not putting so much that people think, this is really unachievable.
Brilliant. Jay Crypto, anything on? Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. I just wanted to touch back on what Jay Crypto was saying about the IP. Because I feel like I didn't really answer that. So you will have full IP rights to the project. It's going to be written in the contract on our end, stating that all of our holders have full IP rights. So you're able to create shirts, create comics, anything you want to do. I saw how Chat Medici recently, he basically uses his Bored Ape as his persona. You can do that. You have the only thing that we ask.
Crazy.
It's gonna be sweet. The only thing we ask is please don't sell your seal and then still try to hold on to your IP rights. If you sell your seal, just keep it 100, and the IP rights transfers to whoever actually holds the seal.
That makes sense.
That's really I saw a chat question earlier on. I just wanted to ask it in case they were wondering too, but what's the utility of, or what do you guys see it seems like you're building some different sinks for the fish token internally. So you're going to be able to use the fish to maybe interact with other things that the community is building itself as well. If that is fair to say it like that.
Yeah. So the fish token is the idea that we came up. Oliver was a big announcer of that and big really helped flesh it out. So there's 10 billion fish in the sea, and our goal is to stabilize at 0.01 ADA so that we create 100 million ADA market cap. Now, the sum that might sound a little,
by the way. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead. How are you going to stabilize that price, by the way? What's the
so the way we plan on stabilizing it is everything that we offer is going to be at a 0.01 ADA. So on our fish marketplace, like you'll be able to mint NFTs, you'll be able to mint merchandise NFTs, which is going to be super cool. Which the merchandise NFT, you'll be able to hold it, you'll be able to sell it on secondary, or you can redeem it for the actual item. So for example, we can have a seal cap that you can use 2,000 fish to mint the NFT, and then you can take that and you can redeem it and actually get the cap mailed to you. We have that already in place, and yeah, we have a guy that's going to do our fish market. That's super sick to get that locked in. So we plan on creating that stabilization from within. Everything that we offer is going to be on that base point. Now, 100 million ADA is only 0.29% of the total ADA out there, which is 35 billion. So in my opinion, it's very conservative. It's very reachable. We're giving it, it's not going to happen in a year. Who knows though? But we're giving it 2, 3, 5 years to really flesh it out and really build it out. But yeah, that's the way that we're going to stabilize. Also on DEXs, we're going to have exotic pairs like Hosky, Lobster, World Token, Mobile Token. Like we're going to have exotic pairs on the DEXs just to add more liquidity. And there could possibly be a ADA pair in there as well. I don't want to give too much, but yeah, we're going to be providing liquidity for fish for sure.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's really
20%
interesting.
to the DEXs. Yeah.
Hey guys, can I
sweet.
mention one quick thing? You mentioned something about identity earlier, and I just wanted to relay this story from this morning. So again, I told you, Timmy, that we were watching one of the videos from the morning, and my son, who's 5.5, he looks at what's on the YouTube, and he says, "Hey, that name is Timmy." I said, "Yeah, that's right." And he said, "He's a blue cat," and I said, "Yeah, he is." And he said, "Who is that?" And I said, "Well, yeah, that's Timmy." And he said, he said, "What is he? What is that?" And I said, "Well, that's an avatar." And he's like, "What's an avatar?" And I said,
Wow.
"Well, it's his other body." And my son looks at me with the biggest eyes and he says, "A second body?" And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Yeah." And I thought about it. And what is just so incredible is that like the kids in my son's generation are going to grow up in an entirely different universe in which like they actually have the potential to have another identity and another external representation, or 4 or 5, another representation of themselves. And like it's hard for us to I think like visualize what that actually means. And in the same way, I think it's hard for most people to understand what the metaverse concept really means. But I mean the possibilities are endless. And when he said that to me, I just realized like his reality of like adolescence and adulthood is going to be very similar to the difference that we had as the children of the early internet. And it's just wild to think about.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that story. That's a pretty awesome story, and I can imagine his eyes like opening wide. A second body. What yeah, that's very, very cool. Kind of mind blowing to think about. How open the minds will be of the youngest generation. That's so cool. Yeah, very good.
Nice.
J Crypto, what were you saying, or Stevie? Yeah, anyone else?
Well, I was just gonna say real quick that I think in Timmy's case, it's his actual body, right? But for our cases, we could definitely slap on a seal avatar and make that chant Medici it a little bit and make that our second body and identity. So I think that's a really profound thought, RJ.
Absolutely. So let's see. We've talked about the mint date coming up this Friday and Saturday. We've talked about the supply and the pricing. Pretty humble pricing too. 55 ADA. We're seeing a lot of projects price a lot higher, and ADA's coming down a little bit. Even just this morning, kind of doing a little bit of a low there. How did you decide on your pricing, and maybe tell us about your royalties? What are the royalties,
Thank you,
and like
bro.
are you guys going to be okay? Like
It
in terms
is.
of like the team?
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna do great. We're gonna be okay. We're in this for the long haul. Like I said, this is just our Gen 1. We plan on being here, fleshing this out. If I told you some of the ideas I have, RJ would get pissed. I'm not gonna release everything, but
I don't want to
it's
piss off
funny.
RJ.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. But we actually we started off at 6,000 at 30 ADA. And we did a community poll, which was about a month ago now, asking our community. But we do a lot of polls that that just
Nice.
evolved the whole project. We've went through 4 different roadmaps. We've just been community oriented, like how we got the poll right now for the fan art. It's just so enriched, and we're so deeply involved. But we did a community poll saying, hey, do y'all want a high supply, low ADA price, or do you want a lower supply and a little higher ADA price? They all chose for the 3333 at 55 ADA, and that's how we got at that point. I do know ADA right now is floating around 80. We're not going to play around and change the mint price or anything. We're going to keep the G. We're going to just run it. Yeah, we're just going to run it how we got it right now. Because it's not only hurting, it's hurting everybody in the Cardano ecosystem right now. Everybody, it's not just us that's going to take a hit. It's everybody's taking a little hit right now. But as it the price ADA is going to moon pretty soon. I give it, a year or 2-3 years.
Oh,
we're gonna be back at that 3 ADA. Yeah, we're gonna be back at that $3 per ADA mark.
His time horizon is yeah. His time horizon is in the real world. This is the crypto world. It might moon in 3 months.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, hell yeah, that's real. That is real. So yeah.
You guys are staying true because like I've been in so many Twitter spaces this has come up, and if somebody's lowering their mint price and raising it artificially depending on what the market's doing and not going off of like a kind of a standard, it does give the impression that you might lower or raise it if ADA goes up or goes down, and it just kind of creates that uncertainty for the community. So I actually love when a project just does what they stick to. Personally,
nice, thank you.
And I love this comment from Patrick here. 1 ADA equals 1 ADA, and so he's saying like, why are we pricing against USD? It's really just ADA, right? If the ADA is going to be the currency to win, like let's stop resetting with the price of the USD every day. So yeah, that's really good insight there from Patrick. Okay, cool. Yeah,
I got
go ahead.
A quick question. Hey, Timmy J Crypto. How did you guys come up with the name, the Gauntlet, and actually, how did you two guys meet?
Dude,
well, that's a good question. Maybe I can talk about how we met, and you want to talk about the name, J Crypto? You can talk about the name because you had.
Yeah, we could. I'll tell the story of the name after. I want to hear what you're gonna say about how we met. I wanna proofread it after.
Well, I mean, the way I met J Crypto is when he did a video like one day, totally out of nowhere, talking about like some YouTube videos that I was doing. And so like he was another YouTube creator. This was like around December. I think it was right around the holidays, because I remember my family was with me in town, and I looked on YouTube and I saw that this YouTube creator, J Crypto, did a video all about Timmy. And so I clicked in. I mean, I had known him a little bit before, but then this is when it would really like started to blow up, and he had a bunch of amazing things to say. And so that's when I decided, okay, this was someone I wanted to, partner with and like, start a relationship with, a little bit of a crypto marriage. And then we just started talking. And so I started going into all of his comments and then shouting him out back and forth. And so for me, that's really what kind of blew my mind, was that video you did, Jay.
Dude, well, when I saw Timmy's channel, I think it was right at 900 subscribers, and I was like, this dude is going to blow up. Like, his production value is insane, and his deep dives and energy and enthusiasm was pretty big. And I just like to spotlight that for other creators, because when you're a creator, and same with the NFT project in the space, and you're getting going and you're doing all the right things, I think bigger creators, bigger NFT projects will highlight you because they know what it's like when you're in the early stages. So I would agree with that. I did find out that Timmy is a huge troll. He is the biggest troll in our ecosystem. And that's the only thing I would probably add, is he's a tremendous troll. He's got like really good trolling capabilities in our ecosystem. So
yeah,
I'll find that out later on, but
a little bit cheeky.
Nice.
And tell him about the name J Crypto, because we did have a couple other names we were considering. There were a couple other names, but maybe tell them about some of the other names and then how you came up with the Gauntlet. And I'll give full credit to J Crypto for the name.
So we were gonna go with the trash can, but it was because we were thinking of me and Timmy get hit up a lot. You know, he is really good at responding to people. I'm probably not as good, but I try to every day. And what was happening was on our main shows, we weren't able to, you know, respond to all the sponsorship requests, or even people just saying, hey, can you just take a look at something? So when you have two people though, and it's more organized, and you can make a show that's like somewhat sponsored but somewhat informative, and it's also like a place that we can expose projects that are looking for good marketing, because there's a lot of YouTube creators that will just say whatever, like no offense to them, I think it's fine, but they'll just say like whatever a sponsor wants them to, and we find it important to be like really honest as well. And what's happened with the Gauntlet is it's turned into a show where we can be honest, and we get a lot of great projects that are looking for more exposure in a marketing venue, and that's what we like to supply. But the Gauntlet was meant to be a place that we put projects through the Gauntlet, because our community is live here with us. We can pull them up. We can pull up Patrick, say 180 equals 180. We can talk about somebody saying, I will be a sealfish, you know, or whatever, becoming increasingly bullish on Seal Society. And what we wanted to do was, when we pull up the Seal Society, when we pull up another project, when we talk about a news story, we want to pull these guys up and girls up that are part of our audience and engage with them live and get their feedback on projects that we can then give to the projects. Because if somebody has feedback for you guys, it's also nice to see. So it's like a well-rounded balance of things. Plus, it's just ridiculous to be on here with a virtual cat. I mean, like, I look on my screen and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing over here with this virtual like cat? It's ridiculous, but it's a lot of fun.
Crazy.
You'll be VTuber soon.
Yeah. So that's our origin story. I wanted to ask RJ, like, we heard about Stevie.
Thanks for asking, by the way.
That's a good question.
That was a wonderful story, man. Thank you for sharing. You know, I'm glad to get some background on you guys, and that's a cool story. I really like that, and it's organic, and you guys have the best show on YouTube for Cardano. Period.
Wow.
Period. Like, honestly, like I say, I was listening while I worked before I even started creating an NFT. So you guys are really the foundation, and I just see you guys growing so huge. You know, please tell me, both of you gonna be at CNFT Con, just really quick.
Yeah, I am. I think, Timmy, what are you going to be, in a robot or something? You need me to push you around as like a little R2D2? What's going on?
It's hard for Timmy to go because Timmy's a blue cat, but I'd love to go in like a bit of a furry, costume.
Because I got to get a picture with both of you guys.
Absolutely, Stevie. Absolutely.
If I'm not there this year, I'm going to do it next year. I want to get a furry for J Crypto as well, so we could kind of both be in furries. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, so this is the inner troll that's coming up, but dude, it's just about the vibe too. Like, me and Timmy see things like how you and RJ just like that vibe, right? It's just like we got that vibe. We can make jokes, we can make fun of each other. It didn't start out, you know, Timmy made fun of me first. I'll say that I started making fun of him back. But it's just how it goes now. It's like brotherly love. But Timmy, you were gonna ask a little bit of backstory question and flip
I was just curious about. Yeah, I was just curious about RJ, actually. Like, you know, we heard about Stevie's background in crypto. RJ, is Cardano your first blockchain? And how did you kind of come to Cardano?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to explain. Hey, let me first off just apologize. My phone battery is likely going to die. I'm going to ride it into the ground. So if you see me disappear, I'm still alive at the park. I'm just phone is down for the
respect.
Count. Yeah. Hey. So I came into Cardano. Cardano is it's my first blockchain. I actually came in through a group of friends who started with having this NFT chat that started on Discord, and basically a couple of key friends of mine who were friends in real life before the NFT space, you know, starting to get into Cardano and a couple of projects, and you know, over time they were just making more noise, saying, hey, come do this, and I kept saying, hey, I don't think I have the time, I don't think I can do this. And then I just started to see some of the successes they were having in the space, and more importantly, some of the fun they were having in the group. And I just decided, hey, I've got to jump into this. And so, and so I did. And so, I'm predominantly now in the Cardano space. I hold a couple of projects in ETH that I'm super happy about. But by and large, Cardano is the space and the ecosystem that I'm most comfortable with and happy to grow in.
Very cool. I love to hear that. That's a similar story for me. Cardano is my first ever crypto chain. Hopefully first and last. So Very cool. I love to hear that.
I'm more like Stevie, where I've kind of hopped around and seen a few other ecosystems, but it is interesting how Cardano has just really grown from the ground up, and some people haven't experienced DeFi to the level yet. It's exciting to think that, because there's a lot of stuff coming. Cardano is still really early, so I'm excited for those people too, because there's a lot of things that NFT projects I think will be able to do with some of these other genres. It'll be fun to see it all play out.
You said it, Jay. Okay, so we're at the turn of the hour, and I think you know, we're at risk of losing RJ before we can wrap up cleanly. Let me just ask the team though, Stevie, RJ, in kind of in closing, is there anything we missed? Anything you would say to kind of wrap up that you want to let the beautiful people know?
Stevie, let me take it first, and then let me take it first before the phone dies. And you as the founder and the visionary behind it, you better wrap it up. But I've got a couple of things I've got to get out to the group. Number one, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to us tell our story. We are so excited for the Mint of Seal Society. And just remember, the Mint is just the beginning. If you're in with us now, you're in so early. Please join us on this journey. I've got to give a shout out to the organic growth of our community. Most importantly, our mods, Tattert, Kyer, and Mr. Krister. Okay, our 3 mods that we've picked out of the community have just done a tremendous job helping us manage the organization. Also, huge shout out to our Super Seals. Our Super Seals are those that they're community members. They're not team members, but they are what I consider our organic leaders of the community. They're essentially like our HOA board that is continuously telling us how bad we are, what things we need to improve. Hey, the grass needs mowing. That's what we're doing on the demands of our Super Seals. But shout out to them. We've got an announcement today that I'm going to let Stevie give. We've got 2 more Super Seals that we are promoting into the Super Seal team. I'll leave it there.
Stevie?
Very cool. Go ahead, Stevie.
Nice. Okay, sorry. I usually put my kids on. I just asked my son. He just came in and he didn't want to get on the screen. He said, "Where's mommy?" So he's not trying to have fun with me right now. But I just want to thank everybody. We do have 2 new Super Seals. We have Odie and Vanessa, our new Super Seals. We want to thank y'all so much for all the support. Yeah, Vanessa's been super supportive.
Is that this Vanessa? Is that the same Vanessa here? Oh wow, big shout out, big day. That's cool. It was Vanessa, and who was the other one?
Odie. Yeah. Super supportive. Yeah, man, our Super Seals are the ones who they help guide the community. They help. They're like our second moderators in a way. You know, they help and build community so much. Shout out to our moderators, Kyer, Tattert, and Mr. Krister. They've helped us so much. You know, just guide us. We actually had a bot attack today. 1,000 bots came into our Discord overnight. So Kyer's been cleaning that up. And so it's just been, you know, so much support.
Don't worry, they got stopped, by the way, everybody. We stopped them.
Nice.
We caught them right on time. They weren't able to verify. So
you deployed James Seal and the military SEALs, and we shut them down.
We got them quick. So we just love everybody. I do have a giveaway, if y'all don't mind. I told everybody I was going to end it live and announce the winner. Is that okay?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Okay.
Add value.
It was 25 ADA, so I'm going to go ahead and end it. And they have to be live in the chat. So let's see. And
Cold hard ADA. That's cool. No games.
So the winner is Alex X, if he is in the chat. If you're in the chat, Alex, go ahead and do hashtag Gauntlet right now. Because you have to be live in the chat. So if you're live in the chat, go ahead and type Gauntlet right now. You got about a couple seconds. To go
Come on, Alex. You only got a couple seconds.
Yeah, we're
there
going to
he is. I'm not sure.
Is it?
Maybe not.
Alex MDCC. Yeah, Alex MDCC. Is that you, Alexandru? Is that him?
Not sure. Alexandru, is that he says I can't hear you. I don't know.
Alexandru, is that you? He said I'm here.
Yeah.
That's okay. Cool. You won, man. You won the 25 ADA. Thanks for being live, keeping it 100, being on the show, man. Cool. So we're gonna go ahead and airdrop that to him. And that's just type of things we do at the Sales Society. We reward our society, and they're so real. I really feel like when I get into that Discord that I'm in a room full of people that I know. It's so humble, it's so real. And one thing I would like to say just to everybody getting involved is I've been repeating it ever since the beginning, but you're early. This is still the beginning. We haven't even minted yet, and all the amazing utility and everything we're building and all the alpha that we have. I can't give it away. If we get into some private conversations, I'll let you guys in on a lot of things that we have going. But yeah, I would say you're early. I would definitely say you're early.
So cool. I love the idea of like the seals in a metaverse, a 3D seal, maybe a voxel seal. I don't know. I wanted to see. I wanted to see your reaction. I wanted to see.
Shit! I told it.
No, he's dangerous. Don't talk to him too long,
Dangerous.
Stevie, because he will get some stuff out of you that you don't want him to know. But it's funny because one thing I would like to end on too then is just saying thanks to Stevie and RJ. And by the way, when it comes to having a community that feels real, I think that kind of starts from the top. So Stevie, that's probably a little bit to your credit in the culture that you set, though I feel like you're a humble guy, but like, I just think that that's something to recognize too. And I see people going crazy and saying Stevie's the man and all these things earlier in the chat. So big shout out to you for getting this movement going with so many people behind it now. That's what it's like, feels like, man. It feels like a movement already. It's the sophisticated seal movement.
Oh, thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Without the people, without guys like you, without the community, I would be nothing. So I thank you guys, and I appreciate the kudos. We moving forward, baby.
Kill those sharks, man.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stevie.
Some sharks.
Get those freaking sharks.
Thanks so much, Stevie. Thanks for the Timmy seal. That's so cool. Thanks for the Discord shout outs as well. You guys sent a lot of people to the channel today, to the show. So thanks for partnering with us that way. And yeah, we'll let you go and spend some time with family. Hopefully you can go pull them away from mom. Have a great weekend. Yeah. And thanks again for joining us.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Jay Crypto. Thank you, Timmy, man. Much love to you guys. Until next time.
Bye now.
See you around, Stevie. Take care.
Very cool. Wow, what a wicked team, eh? Fire.
Dude, that was
fire.
Going through it, I mean, it's surprising. Like, I was honestly surprised a little bit at how interested I'm now in for the Sophisticated Seal Society, Timmy. I'm pretty excited for that upcoming mint, next week.
Is this like anyone who missed the Ape Society, maybe, right? Is this the version 2 of Ape Society, right? There are some similarities, but that's totally fine. If you've missed it, then maybe this is your way to get to play a part in something similar.
It's interesting. You could probably spin that. I mean, they even said that one of the inspirations was the Ape Society, and I think that reflects too. And I think it's a blueprint to be inspired by, because there's really a lot of uniqueness there that comes out of organizing the community around different objectives. And maybe we'll see more projects in 2022 and 2023 reflecting, or at least admiring, some of the blueprints that do really well. But they have their own unique twist on a lot of stuff, the Sophisticated Seal Society. So especially in the art, I mean, Stevie's a huge part of that. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, that was so cool to learn that Stevie has like a bit of an art background there, the watercolors and the oil paintings. And I thought that was pretty cool. And so, I love the team is international. They've got someone in Australia. And then I think Yova is in Argentina. So that's pretty cool. They're artists, Yova. It's too bad we didn't have Yova on here, but yeah, I can imagine reasons for that. It sounds like he's a pretty stealthy character. He Stevie reached out to him. He kind of ghosted Stevie for like a week and then suddenly replied, but he replied with the goods.
That's right? What they do, man. That's like a frog dog move too. Like, as an artist, like they're focused on their art, and sometimes you don't know because it's Web3, and you don't know everybody yet. And the artists that do Web3 JPEGs are sometimes you just have no idea who they are. But that's what they do, man. Sometimes the best artists are the ones that just don't talk and they just act and they do their thing.
All business. All right. Well, what do you think, Jay Crypto? We talked about Crypto Dognuts today. They're minting on May 3rd. we we talked about the Seal Society minting on May 6th on Friday and Saturday, whitelist on Friday. And then we talked about a bunch of other stuff. You gave us a wicked Pavia update. If everyone missed that, go to the beginning and you'll see a really cool summary from Jay Crypto about Pavia. We talked about how Charles is the new CEO of Twitter. We talked about a whole bunch of stuff around Wanchain and Cardano bridging to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Polkadot, Avalanche. Lots of stuff today. Is there anything else we want to talk about before we wrap up for this episode?
You know, I think we can push some of the Cardano updates next week. We were going to do AdaQuest, which is a really cool play to earn game ecosystem that was going to support this week's Gauntlet, but we pushed it back to next week, and we'll have a lot of stuff to talk about there. And yeah, we have a couple of projects. There's a few things happening. We won't, announce those things that we're going to be talking about on next Gauntlet just yet until everything gets confirmed. And we want to stay nimble, right? Because if some big thing happens next week, then we'll be able to talk about it and maybe drop a different topic that's not a project related one. But I'm excited, man. The Gauntlet is moving forward. That's episode 10 in the books, and we're on episode 11 next. That's crazy.
That's actually a really good point. Maybe I can take like 60 seconds now and just talk about AdaQuest, which we'll cover in detail next week. But maybe I can just get it on people's radar, because AdaQuest is actually doing a tournament. They're doing a tournament next weekend. And so we might have them on the Gauntlet next Saturday. But if you want to participate in this tournament, it might be beneficial actually for the users to know about this ahead of time. But this is their website. It's at ada-quest.com. And we're going to do a deep dive on them next week. But they have a lot of stuff happening in May. Actually, every week in May, this project is coming out with stuff. It's a trading card game. You can see some of the cards here. I used to play some Magic the Gathering. I know you used to play Pokemon, I think you mentioned, or, some of these other card games. So
yep, I used to be a Pokemon. Yep.
Yeah. So there you go. So they're going to be on here next week. They've got a wicked video on here. I won't show it much and spoil it, but we'll get into all of this next week. It's Ada-Quest. Just search Twitter for AdaQuest. And yeah, they were supposed to be on today, but we're actually going to do it next Saturday. Big shout out to them for supporting us ahead of time.
Yeah, man. There's so much going on. We wish that we could do the Gauntlet for like 20 hours, but we can't. There's a lot that I'm excited to bring to the Gauntlet, though. Not just project reviews. I'm always excited for some of the projects, but definitely some more Cardano news too. So me and Timmy are constantly thinking about how to improve this show, and part of it's come from the feedback that we've gotten from you guys just offline after the Gauntlet.
Thanks.
So keep sending us feedback on what you guys want to see and what you like about the show, so that way we can keep some of those things too and add different aspects in.
I guess as we wrap up, let's maybe respond to this from CM. I think he's waiting for you to sing, and I think it's Old Country Road. I think that was the promise you made to sing that today. I think is what he's talking about here. What do you think, Jay?
Well,
is that how we end the show?
So I think there's a little mischaracterization, but yes, if you tune into next week's Gauntlet, you will get a little bit of singing by me of Old Country Road. So make sure to tune in next week, and we'll see you then. All right, Timmy.
Meow.